तो एक काम करते हैं, लेट्स गो अहेड. We will first have a quick recap of what we have done. Because it will serve as a revision for all those who are in class on time. So, we are basically doing chapter number 2 of your syllabus, that is residential status and scope of income. Under residential status, assessee is going to be divided in two categories, that is resident and non-resident. And under scope of total income, your incomes are going to be divided in two categories, that is Indian income and foreign income. Resident will have to pay tax on world income, global income, that is Indian income or foreign income. But non-resident, at least on Indian income, because the land of this country has generated. Likewise, इसी के अंदर income wise answer भी आ गया. Indian income हुआ तो who has to pay tax? Everyone, resident, non-resident. And अगर foreign income हुआ, income outside India, तो that will be taxable only for taxable for resident, foreign income, not taxable for non-resident. Correct है? इसको हम initial brief तो we got, but then we have to understand in detail because we need to know what is resident, non-resident. Once that part of the chapter is over, then we can subsequently move to learn what is Indian income and foreign income. Resident, non-resident is given assessee by assessee, person by person. So person के definition में there were a total of 7. They were कौन? Individual, HUF, company, firm including LLP, local authority, उसके पहले AOP, BOI, artificial, juridical person. We have started when we did सबसे पहले individual का किया in the order. So individual category 1, उसके अंदर in the first step individual will be divided into resident and non-resident, and in the second step the resident will be further divided into ordinary and not ordinary resident, that is ROR, RNOR या फिर NR. Step 2 will be performed only if answer of step 1 is resident. तो सबसे पहले step 1 देखना पड़ेगा. When does a person become resident? 3 conditions are given. How many fulfilled तो you become resident? Anyone also. तीनों का जरूरत नहीं है. Anyone also fulfilled, then you become a resident. What is the first condition? In India for a period of 182 days or more during the applicable previous year, जिसके लिए आप चेक कर रहे हो. This can change every year. तो बहुत सारा points that equal to is also covered. Leap year में भी you'll check this. अगर timing का data is maintained, तो do hours का calculation. Otherwise, incoming, outgoing both days will be counted as stay in India. All those rules and regulations, what place you stayed, whether it is continuous or not continuous, what was the purpose of your visit, what is your nationality or citizenship, all that is irrelevant. We are only interested in physical presence in India. 182 days हुआ, nothing to be checked. Second possibility, you were in India for a period of, during the current year, मतलब during the relevant previous year, 60 days, but इसके साथ में you have to be in India for a period of total of 365 days during the 4 preceding previous years. वो continuous नहीं होएगा. Same rules है. Continuous जरूरी नहीं है. Nothing is, एक जगह पे जरूरी नहीं है. In India. In fact, we also know the definition of India. But there are 2 cases where this 6365 will not be applicable. Citizen of India going outside for employment or crew member of Indian ship, और crew member क्या वापस भी आ गया ना, but CDC is going on, so that period will be excluded. The CDC period will be excluded. So whatever period he is out, he is out. After coming back, he is in, but CDC is going on. So don't count those days. Yes. And for the remaining days, it has to be 182 because 6365 is not applicable to this crew member. Correct? And second exception was citizen or person of Indian origin who is coming for a visit. Income के लिए आया, तो 6365 is applicable. Only if visit. But in this, again they added a rule that if your income exceeds 15 lakh, which income? Income from all sources in India, plus foreign income if the business or profession is controlled from India. If the total exceeds 15 lakh, then 6365 will come back, but in the form of 120 plus 365. And then तीसरा condition to become resident, if you are a citizen of India. If you are a citizen of India and your income is exceeding 15 lakh, same income, and you are not a resident anywhere else, so you are a resident in India. So either you become resident in some country and pay tax over there, otherwise you are a resident in India if your income is exceeding 15 lakh rupees. After this, we went to the additional conditions of step 2. 2 conditions. This time you have to fulfill both, so you become ROR. So anyone dissatisfied? RNOR. Both dissatisfied, so non RNOR only, because step 2 is performed only if you are resident. Condition 1, last 7 years का aggregate stay minimum 730 days, and condition 2, last 10 में से minimum 2, it can be higher but minimum 2, you have to be a resident. And that how you will check? Same 182, 63, 65, same manner. This is how you will find out residential status of individual. That is where we completed our class, and we did a couple of questions, and I asked you all to solve some questions. I told you solve and don't read even after solving. Before solving, so don't read only, otherwise you are doing injustice to your own future. But after solving also don't read. Because when I will do it with you, let me see where you went wrong. If you have already read the answer, तो पता नहीं चलेगा. And some smart students, you know what they did? The sir ने printed answer ना बोला था, तो they are asking each other, show your notebook now. Sir didn't say no to read each other's answer. Sir said no only किसके लिए? Printed answer. क्या दिमाग? पक्का CA material you guys are. Okay? Okay. So, of course, we have to go and solve the sums which I gave you as homework. But whenever it is the beginning of any class is not meant for question answer. Okay? Because you are fresh. I assume you are fresh. Yes. That way you are never going to be fresh. But I assume beginning of the class. So what we can do is, we can learn the residential status of some more assessees. We can start a little about scope of total income. And then we can move on to the questions. Okay? So, now we go to the residential status of the second assessee, that is HUF. Abhi, what is HUF? We have had long discussion on that in the definition of person. Yes. Hindu undivided family ke liye bhi the classification is going to be, in step 1, we will decide whether the HUF is resident or non-resident. Step number 1, whether the HUF is resident or non-resident. And in step number 2, we will further classify the HUF into, if you are a resident, you can be ROR or RNOR. ROR stands for resident and ordinarily resident. RNOR is resident but not ordinarily resident. Every HUF will be further classified, further divided into 2 categories, that is ROR and RNOR. So were individuals also having these categories? Yes. Yes. So that means effectively just like individual, HUF can be classified into 3 final categories: ROR, RNOR and non-resident. One more thing that will be same is, first step 1 will happen, then step 2 will happen. One more thing that is same is, step 2 will be performed only if, come on. Step 1 ka answer is, then only step 2 will be performed. So till here you all have understood. But I just have to tell you the steps. Good news ye hai कि this is very small. Very small. Okay. I already told you the remaining chapter together will not take. Matlab remaining residential status of all other assessees together will not take that much time. In today's lecture, we will finish residential status of all other assessees. We will finish all the sums that I gave you for homework and the other questions also. We will also start scope of total income. Quite a bit of scope of total income we will do. Okay. So, only individual consumed our entire first lecture. But the remaining together will not take that much. Step number 1. What are we deciding? Whether the HUF is resident or non-resident. Khali itna brains you have that HUF is an artificial person. It is not a natural person, a human being who can roam around here and there. For natural persons, that is human beings, the criteria of residential status is based on number of days of physical presence. Nationality, purpose, everything is irrelevant, only physical presence. We cannot have a criteria like that for HUF. Think about it. Matlab, are you trying to say, कि sir, affidavit कौन से country में 182 days? So for the partnership firm, will you use the same logic, sir? Partnership deed was kept in which country? हाँ, अभी मोबाइल में ईमेल में डाल के रखा पार्टनरशिप डीड को. Which country it is? Imagine a partnership firm that wants to become non-resident. अच्छा, what is better to become resident or non-resident? हाँ, patriotic लोग, non-resident no. Why? Because then you pay tax only on Indian income. Then your foreign income is not taxable. तो आइडिया है पार्टनरशिप फर्म ना, कीप इट्स पार्टनरशिप डीड का कॉपी आउटसाइड इंडिया फॉरएवर. मतलब कुछ काम होएगा तो जाके रीड करके. लॉल. नहीं ना. We cannot have the criteria of physical presence for anybody other than individual. That criteria can apply only for individual. So the remaining assessees ka criteria is lol. You just go and check the place of control and management. Bas. Sir, control and management matlab the place of decision making. Did you get the last 2 lectures ka PDF? Last 3 lectures ka in fact PDF. First lecture में तो वैसे भी it was only introduction. We have not studied that types of taxes. अगर चाहिए भी तो YouTube पे that lecture is put anyways. You can go and watch it. हाँ, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, never miss an update. ये तुमको QR कोड भी दिया ना टेक बुक के बैक कवर के ऊपर. You can use that also. मैं रील्स भी अच्छी बना लेता हूँ मतलब. So, did I tell you about one of the school interviews with my son? The principal asked me, how do you spend time? Honestly speaking, the answer was, I never spend time with, I don't have time to spend with him. I said, I make reels with him on Instagram. I didn't know that that's not a good answer in an interview. You can try to act funny only when you are in a class and people are ready to listen to you, not when you are being interviewed. And I am used to taking interviews in so many years. I have never given an interview. Last I gave an interview maybe 2010-11. Somewhere uske baad I have never given any interview to anyone. I was trying to act smart. We got rejected. Thankfully, rejected in the sense that we rejected the school. They said that we are ready to, shamelessly that principal asked me, what is your annual income? So that was the deciding factor that I am not continuing with this school. But I told my wife that this was only a trial, no? So it's okay. Next time I will be more careful. Okay. So you can like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button. Never miss an update. You all have the PDF of the previous 2 lectures. Very good. Place of control and management, matlab place of taking decisions. Where are the operational decisions, the business decisions of this HUF taken? Possibility 1. The decisions of this HUF are taken wholly in India. If I ask a 3-year-old kid, no, he will also answer. This HUF is resident or non-resident. If all the decisions are taken in India, obviously the HUF will be a resident. No need to explain this. Very good. Second, if the decisions of this HUF are taken wholly outside India, again a 3-year-old kid will answer this. When not a single decision has taken place in India, obviously it is going to be. A CA student should know this third possibility, that's it. The first 2 possibilities ka, me asking the question, you giving the answer and me saying yes you are right is only waste of time. Real question is this. When the decisions of the HUF are taken partly in India, partly outside India. Thoda, little. Some in India, some outside India. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Devyo, Sajjano and Mitro. In that case also, the HUF will be treated as a resident. Percentage nahi specify kiya. That 99% decisions in India or 1% outside India. 1% in India or 99% outside India. Let me put it this way, see if you understand. If one decision is also taken in India, one out of hundreds and thousands of decisions, if one decision is taken in India, then the HUF will be treated as resident for tax purposes. So, HUF ka decision making wholly in India, wholly outside India, partly in India, only one decision in India, resident. Or can we also say that HUF can become non-resident only if 100% decision making is outside India? No other possibility. Khatam step 1. Finished. Yesterday ka full lecture was taken by step 1 only. Step 2 we did in 10 minutes. 730 days and 2 out of 10 years. Step 1 of HUF finished, Mitro, finished. Okay. Step 2. Now what are we going to decide in this? Whether the HUF is ROR or NOR. I don't want any confusion. This step will be done only if the HUF is resident. If the HUF is non-resident, we are not going to perform this step. Correct? Correct, no? Something illogical is happening. Something illogical will happen here. something illogical has been written out here. I call it illogical, stupid, nonsense, bakwas, wahiyat, disgusting, rubbish. I wanted to use some more words, but I am a teacher and it's a professional class, so I will have to avoid. They are saying, go and check the karta. HUF is headed by karta. Go and check the karta. You are deciding whose residential status? Is the karta as an individual a separate assessee liable to pay tax on his own income over and above the share of profit received from HUF? Supposingly I have my HUF. I get share of profit from HUF. That is exempt because HUF has paid tax. But I have my own personal income also. So as an assessee, I am separate from my HUF. For my residential status, you check my data, number of days. And for HUF ka residential status, you check HUF ka data, control and management. But we are being made to learn a stupid situation where you are determining residential status of HUF, but examining the facts of karta. Means to decide for A, go and check B. I earn income, my residential status, and I pay tax. You earn income, we check your residential status, and you pay tax. You earn income, whoever is earning income, we check that person ka residential status, and that person ka tax. But here, we want to decide for HUF, but we will go and examine the facts of karta. If the karta was in India for a period of 730 days or more during 7 immediately preceding previous years, last 7 years. 7 immediately preceding, matlab for your exam you will see before 20 to 23 the last 7 equal to 730 is covered. And matlab you have to do one or both? Both. If the karta has been resident in at least means greater than or equal to 2 out of 10 immediately preceding previous years, that is last 10 previous years or last 10 years भी लिख सकते, no problem. In the words of Babu Bhaiya, देखेला yes, where? As an individual, for the karta, when you determine his residential status, first you will check resident or non-resident. If he is resident, you perform step number 2 for his ROR or NOR. Same 2 conditions. For HUF ka ordinary and not ordinary also, we will check the conditions of the karta. Matlab imagine karo, karta in the relevant previous year in India was only for 10 days. Once it is less than 60, we don't discuss or think about anything. What's the answer for the karta? Non-resident. HUF ka one decision was taken in India during those 10 days. So HUF is a resident. And this is the first time the karta has left India. Otherwise, since birth he is in India. That means last 7 years 730 ho gaya. Last 10 years at least 2 he is resident. That means karta is not fulfilling the basic conditions of step 1. So he becomes non-resident, but he is fulfilling the additional conditions. For his residential status it is irrelevant because he's already become non-resident. But for HUF, the HUF has become ROR. Karta ka fulfillment of condition will decide HUF ka residential status. That is why I use strong words like ghatiya, disgusting, bakwas, vahiya, stupid, nonsense. Some more words you can assume or imagine them. You are very clever in all this. Have you understood this? Okay. So, khatam ho gaya. Residential status of HUF. Condition 1 or step number 1, resident ke non-resident. How do you decide? Place of decision making, control and management. Even if one decision is taken in India, then the HUF will be resident. Condition 2 or step number 2, we want to decide whether it is ordinary or not ordinarily resident. For this, we will check the fulfillment of conditions by Karta. If the Karta was in India for 730 days during last 7 years, and if the Karta was resident in 2 out of the last 10 years, then the HUF will be treated as ROI. But both conditions are. I think you have understood this. So if the Karta is fulfilling only one of them or none of them, so HUF will be RNOR. If it is NR, so you will not perform the step 2. Correct? Okay, khatam, finished. Finished. HUF ka residential status is over. Like this, we have to finish for all the assessees. That will be completion of the first part of the chapter. And then we move to the second part, that is scope of truth. Okay. But for now, third assessing. Third assessing, man, we are taking partnership firm. Every time we talk about partnership firm, it will also include LLP. LLP is a part of the definition of firm for tax purposes. So partnership firm. In this same rule, we also have AOP BOI. I hope you remember AOP BOI are same. If all members are individuals, then you call it BOI, which is also AOP because all individuals fall in person. And if there is any non-individual member, then it is only AOP. Correct? Yes. Very good. Artificial juridical person. In fact, wait. Local authority also. And artificial juridical person also. We are going to learn all of them together. What do you think is the reason? Obviously, the reason is, fatafat, we have to finish the portion. We have to rush, finish your portion and send you off. Arey, complete, bhagao. I am never in a hurry to complete portion. Not that I purposely delay. But till the time you are not 100% clear about things, I will never be in a hurry. If I promise you a particular date, I don't mind extending the batch by 2 days, 3 days, 4 days or 5 days. But only to save 5 days after teaching what your batch is going to go on for 7, 8, 9 months. Which makes a total of, not from now, from the time you started, 6 or 7. Then how does 5 days ka additional teaching affect me? But if I compromise on quality only to save 5 days, then I am doing injustice to your career and my profession. I am never in a hurry. Sir, then why are you merging it? Option 2, they are same. And option 2 is the right answer. I am not asking you. That is the right answer. The residential status of firm, AOP BOI, local authority, artificial juridical person is same. They are going to be divided in resident and non-resident. Bus! Finished. Finished. There is no further breakup. NR mein to anyways there was no further breakup. In resident there is no breakup called ordinary, not ordinary. The breakup of ordinary, not ordinary exists only under individual and HUF. After this, for all other assessees, resident or non-resident. And even easy. Resident, world income, non-resident, Indian income. In fact, for those 2 assessees where we have ordinary, not ordinary. Which are those 2 assessees? Individual HUF. We have to, learn the difference between ordinary and not ordinary ka tax treatment also. Some difference to has to be there, no? Otherwise, why they will make separate categories? Here we don't have to learn any such thing. Because there is no further classification, breakup, nothing. Firm, AOP, BOI, local authority and artificial juridical person will be divided into resident and non-resident. That's it. Khatam. So, only step 1. No step 2. Can we have the criteria of number of days of physical presence for these assessees? Is my question. Logically answer. No, that criteria can be kept only for. So basically the criteria here is going to be once again. And now you know also what is control and management. Place of decision making. If it is wholly in India, then it will be a resident. If it is wholly outside India, very good. You think you've done any great thing by answering these two questions correctly? The real talent lies in answering this. If the decision making was partly in India, and when one part is in India, so obviously the other part will go where? If the decision making is partly in India, partly outside India. So, what do you think? Mitro, we could have merged HUF also here. We could have, and then I would have written step 2 and told you that this is only for HUF, not for others. Correct? Step 1, resident, non-resident is same for all these assessees including HUF. But in HUF there is further breakup into ordinary, not ordinary. So I could have told you that step 2 only for HUF, दूसरे वाले नहीं है ये, it is only for HUF. But बोला कि थोड़ा सा भी difference है, तो let's do it separately. But these are identically same. मतलब there is absolutely no difference. You understand? Verbatim copy, word to word same, absolutely no difference. इसीलिए we have merged all of them. So while yesterday we were struggling to finish residential status of our first assessee, today 1/4 का भी half, 4 hours का 1/4 is 1 hour, 1 hour का half is half an hour. In half an hour का time, half an hour also complete नहीं हुआ. We have completed everyone. Only one is left. Only one assessee is left. That is company. इतना तो you all have understood that there has to be some difference. Otherwise, I would have merged the company also here only. So, in individual, though, the rules are altogether different. HUF के अंदर ordinary, not ordinary is there. Therefore, we had to study it separately. But for that, we have to check conditions to be fulfilled by the karta. For these guys, how are they different from HUF? So, residential status is the same. But इसके अंदर there is no ordinary, not ordinary. So, for that difference, we have separated them, segregated them. So, we are left with only one assessee. And I'll tell you what. With this residential status of all assessees over. Correct? Last assessee, company, that is corporate assessee, you will have to go and first check whether the company is Indian company or I have taught you the meaning of Indian company, foreign company, domestic company, non-domestic company, and Indian and domestic the same. Not same. No, Indian foreign to obviously not same. Domestic, non-domestic obviously not same. But Indian domestic to same, no? No. What is the difference? An Indian company is by default going to be treated as? But domestic company may not be Indian company. It can be a foreign company that has made arrangement for distribution of dividend in India. Correct again? Your residential status depends on Indian foreign. And Indian foreign ka criteria is what? How do you decide whether a company is Indian company or a company is a foreign company? What is the decision making criteria? I have taught you this when I taught you person ka definition of company. Place of incorporation. Indian company is incorporated in India, foreign company incorporated outside India. So, ladies and gentlemen, Indian company always, an Indian company will be always resident. Always resident. Sir, 99 decisions in India, 1 outside India. There? Resident. 1 decision in India, 99 outside India. All decisions outside India. All decisions outside India. Still resident. Once you incorporate a company under Indian company law, will you say 2013? No. It can be the present law or the erstwhile, now deleted law. 1956. Once you incorporate a company in India, it is an Indian company, and every Indian company is by default a resident. So whether it is Tata Steel or Reliance Industries Limited or Adani Wilmar or Adani Power, I am the owner of all these companies. How else does one become owner? I am the owner. नहीं, I am not the owner of Adani Wilmar. 2 दिन पहले I sold it. But still, if any company के name के आगे you see Adani, before the word limited, if you see the word Adani, close your eyes and put your money in it. The next few years belong to him. He is going to capture anything and everything. And if you are co-owners with him, so a portion of that profit will also accrue to you. The whole world has problems that Modi ji has made Adani rich, Adani rich, Adani rich, Adani rich. You also buy his shares, no? Automatically, you will also become rich. How does Adani become rich? Because the market value of his shares are going up. So you also invest in the same shares. Simple. Final CA का students को तो I give a tip almost every lecture. Take this, take this. I give a tip to buy. When to sell, that is not my risk. So I am not here to satisfy your greed. You feel that you have enough profits, you sell. I am not going to tell you when I am selling. I can't find you. I give a tip in every batch. I can't go around telling people that मैं बेच रहा है क्या रहा. Selling is your choice. आप लोग को नहीं दूंगा. Because you guys pocket money से you will start buying shares और डूब गया ना तो I will have to face your parents. So I am not giving you any tip. I am just telling you that these companies are incorporated in India. They are resident irrespective of their place of decision making. Is that clear? But for foreign company, now foreign company is incorporated where? Outside India. So we can never have this criteria that if all the decisions are taken in India, how can all decisions be taken in India? Ultimately it is registered outside India. So for this they have a criteria called if it's poem, एक कविता नहीं रे, place of effective management. If it's poem, that is place of effective management, if that is in India, then it is going to be a resident. Otherwise, else word समझते? Else means if not, otherwise it will be a non-resident. So for foreign companies, the criteria is that your poem stands for place of effective management. Your poem matlab your place of effective management should be in India. Okay, sir, what do you mean by place of effective management? If I have to tell you at inter level, तो inter level का मतलब major managerial decisions. The बड़ा decision is your place of effective management. In CA final, there are actually circulars released by an organization called CBDT. Sir, what is CBDT? It is the daddy, papa, pops, abba, achan, father, babuji of income tax department. An organization which controls the day-to-day operation of income tax department. If I ever teach anyone the hierarchy of income tax department, who is a senior officer, who is junior, the senior most person in the income tax department is a person called CCIT, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. That's a hierarchy. CIT, additional CIT, joint CIT, deputy assistant, ITO. We have a person called tax recovery officer. We have a person called inspector. Inspector is the lowest level in the hierarchy. After that, you don't have to learn. Okay, sir, chai kaun layega, jhadu kaun income tax mein. Hierarchy in the law is a CCIT to inspector. Every officer from top to bottom is under the control of CBDT. CBDT controls every officer from top to bottom, senior most CCIT to junior most. Sir, what do you mean by control? Control means if there is anything said by CBDT, you have to follow the instructions. That is why I call it the Papa, Daddy, Pops, Achan, Abba, Bauji, Baba of Income Tax Department, sir. Because once Papa says something, no, children have to listen. Now don't say, no, sir, in our generation it is the other way around. Because you all are today ka generation. Income Tax Act is 1961. In that generation, once the father said something, it was final. I belong to the 80s ka generation. In my generation, if my father was in one room, I never entered that room. I used to avoid eye contact. Class में first आया ऐसा मुंडी नीचे करके. I got first. Even saying that I am topper, वो भी we never had the courage to look into the eyes and say. We were scared of our parents. Today parents are scared of children. थोड़ा reverse psychology, So in your generation, whatever may be the circumstances, in 1961, once father says something, children have to listen. And this organization releases circulars, notifications, etc. for day-to-day implementation of income tax law. Budget will be announced only on one particular day in the year. But during the middle of the year, if they see some need to clarify some provision, if something written in the budget is not clear and there are disputes about what is written in the budget, the CBDT will release something called circulars. CBDT has released circular on the exact definition of poem. Sir, मतलब अचानक से residential status करते करते, why suddenly we went to CBDT? Digress क्यों? Why did we drift? Because I wanted you to know that poem का exact meaning is given in that CBDT का circular, which final CA students are also told that read and go. It is not written in the Income Tax Act. It's only a supplementary circular. Okay? So, at inter level, though, you are already knowing more than anybody else. You are not required to know till the time you know that bada decision is taken, that is called place of effective management. So, a foreign company will be a resident only if the major decisions, the big decisions are taken in India, only if the place of effective management is in India. So, an Indian company will always be resident. A foreign company will be resident if place of effective management, matlab major decisions are taken in India. And if not, then the foreign company will be a non-resident. Exactly mentioned in the circular. So, they have given the rules that out of your total turnover worldwide, minimum this much in percentage forms has to be in India. Out of your total employees worldwide, minimum this much have to be in India. They have given a criteria, checklist. If that is fulfilled, so it will be treated as the major decision has taken place in India. Understood? That is basically the thing written in that CBDT circular. Okay? Very good. Superb. Superb question. Why did you ask about Zoom meeting? Why couldn't you ask a question when first time I told you resident world income and non-resident Indian income? Why didn't you ask, sir, जो online income है, that is Indian income or foreign income? You understand your question and this question are closely related with each other? 100%. Okay. So, supposingly I am teaching in a coaching class in India. First of all, I am a resident. Secondly, if the teaching is happening in India, there is no need to even teach you that it is Indian income. I have to pay tax. During the lockdown, all the batches happened online. But online, matlab I was still in India and students were in India. So still I have to pay tax. Every CA final batch, I have students from Dubai who are joining live. And after lockdown, though, they used to join. And life was very difficult for them. Because final ka lecture in India starts as per Indian time at 7 o'clock. So over there it is 4:30 in the morning. But there were some really sincere students who were up and ready. I delivered online lectures live on Zoom. They paid me online in my bank account. There is a question mark whether this income is Indian or foreign. There is a question mark. But I still have to pay tax because I am a resident. So whatever be the decision about the income, I have to pay tax. So that way the question is resolved. But now, turn the table. Supposingly there is a financial management ka foreign ka professor. A taxation laws only an Indian teacher can teach you. क्योंकि यू हैव टू लर्न इंडिया का टैक्स का लॉ, इंडिया का कंपनी लॉ, सो लॉ ऑल्सो इंडिया का ही टीचर, ऑडिट इंडिया का ही टीचर, अकाउंट्स ऑल्सो यहां का अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स यू हैव टू लर्न. बट कॉस्टिंग एंड फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट आर सब्जेक्ट्स which are same worldwide. So the concept of capital structure, cost of capital, ratio analysis, leverage, ये सब chapter हुआ है. What did you start with? Ratios? Everything else is done. So cost of capital, capital structure, capital budgeting. What else? So वो सब आपका मोदिग्लानी, मिलर, net income approach, net operating, William Sharp, CAPM, all that is done. These concepts are same worldwide. Worldwide same है. You understand what I am saying? फॉरेन का कोई फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट का टीचर का ऑनलाइन लेक्चर्स आर अरेंज्ड फॉर यू. सो पेमेंट विल हैपन फ्रॉम इंडिया in the bank account outside India, and lectures are being delivered online. Assessee is non-resident, so that means we can levy tax only if the income is earned in India. How do you decide where this income was earned? If our government will say that payment happened from here, the receiver will say but was received over there. And now listen to the next sentence. The digital economy has dissolved the link between transaction and location. Have you seen, bro? 3-4 times bolega na, then you will understand what exactly is happening here. I repeat, the digital economy has dissolved the link between transaction and location. So an online transaction happened in India ke outside India? Nowhere. It happened in digital space. Where is your bank account? Do you have a bank account? Which bank? नहीं पता. अच्छा, no responsibility in life. You know? कौन सा बैंक? RBL. RBI एल ही बोल रहा है, RBI नहीं बोल रहा है. हाँ, रॉयल बैंक ऑफ, अच्छा रत्नाकर. क्या स्टैंडर्ड गिर गया है. Which branch? नहीं मालूम. You have any connection in बुलेश्वर by the way? मतलब दादर में रहते रहते भाई बुलेश्वर? Where? बुलेश्वर में किधर? अच्छा, बुलेश्वर मतलब माय फुल चाइल्डहुड ब्रो. I told you, born and brought up in South Mumbai. थोड़ा सा little away from, not exactly that Bhuleshwar का crowded area, little away, but care, no worries. So RBL Bhuleshwar branch. From there you make an online payment in my ICICI Bank Opera House branch. Online payment किया. You know these days we have one app of every bank. Download that app, enter the payee का details. अभी तो now तो बैंक का app also is not required. Mobile number of the payee and you just टिडिडिंग. हाँ, गूगल पे. करेक्ट है. You transfer money from your RBL bank Bhuleshwar to my ICICI Bank Opera House. Where has this transaction taken place? Bhuleshwar के Opera House. In the digital space. अब एक बात बताओ. It doesn't make any difference because both are in India. But supposingly a border is drawn and Bhuleshwar and Opera House go in different countries. या मैं बोलता हूं don't draw, unnecessarily don't divide the country. Is it possible that one bank account in one country and another bank account in another country and online transfer is accomplished? So the location of the transaction is payer ka ke payee ka? You can't define that. And this was an international problem because जैसे जैसे वर्ल्ड का इकोनॉमी इज ओपनिंग, जैसे जैसे डिजिटलाइजेशन इज बीइंग कंडक्टेड, मतलब वर्ल्ड वाज ऑलरेडी एडवांस, इंडिया के अंदर दिस थिंग कॉल्ड डिजिटलाइजेशन is properly into force actually after 2016, after the launch of Jio. Today we are all frustrated, all those who are Jio users. I stopped using it quite some time back. But we are all frustrated because of the network. We are all frustrated because we are not happy that Mukesh Bhai is earning money. This is human nature. Somebody else is earning, you have a problem. Why is he rich? And you also become rich. Who has stopped you? But you have to give him the credit that your mobile internet has become so cheap only because of him. If it was not for Mukesh Bhai, na, तो लॉकडाउन में you wouldn't have played online Ludo with your family का groups. Then you would have played Snake in your Nokia का mobile 3310. It is only because of Mukesh Bhai. GPRS ना, हम लोग, you know, we used to get 2 GB data per month for 400 rupees. Now we get 2 GB data per day and 350 rupees for 3 months. जो per month का 400 था. और उसमें भी if you pay using Paytm तो 50 रुपए और cashback. And उसमें भी if I pay full year का, so 2400 का full year का I pay तो per month it comes to 200 rupees. Unlimited calls and 2 GB data per day. All thanks to Mukesh Bhai. Once upon a time when we had to, you know, supposingly you are on your way and you want to order a pizza from Domino's. तो पहले you have to reach home. So you do call वाला. Call में they don't accept coupon code. So you reach home, start your desktop computer. उसमें LAN cable connect करके activate the internet. Then open Domino's का website. Then place your order. अभी तो रास्ते में ठक 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 ठक. Before you reach, pizza will reach. हाँ, Domino's के ऐप से भी you can do. You don't need Zomato. But for other things, yes, of course, Zomato. Correct? तो जैसे जैसे digitalization is advancing, no, वैसे वैसे transactions are continuously going to take place in the digital economy. Physical transactions are slowly and gradually getting eliminated. When digitalization came for the first time, it came only for luxuries. मतलब shopping used to happen online. First time we started using online was for shopping. Seriously, I'm telling you, 2014 में जब I got engaged, तो my wife is from Kolkata. She came to India बोल रहा हूँ. She came to Mumbai. मतलब वैसे भी बांग्लादेशी है सब तो. She came to Mumbai for the first time. तो she brought gifts for everyone in the family. ऐसा don't look at me. Dowry लिया नहीं, dowry नहीं. That was out of choice. मतलब we didn't force her. And we believe in equality. So when I also went for the first time, I took something for everyone. ऐसा dowry जैसा dowry नहीं था. So almost means eldest to youngest in the family she brought. One of the watches for one of my younger cousins she brought. I was like, must there? Superb looks, superb quality, superb. Where did you get it from? She said Flipkart. मैं बोला वो क्या है? मैं बोला वो क्या है? बोला Flipkart. Today if someone says what is Flipkart, you know, कितना बड़ा dash is that person? But in 2014 it was a very normal question. Last few years have suddenly, you know, contributed to the Jio came, demonetization came, उसकी वजह से cashless economy, Paytm suddenly everywhere, then Paytm की वजह से other mobile wallets and Google Pay, UPI, ये QR code, all that if you observe, just go 3-4 years behind, no? So all this was not there at all. So started with luxury, shopping के लिए. But today, we are slaves of the digital economy क्योंकि basic necessities of our life. क्या पढ़ा था इकोनॉमिक्स में स्कूल में? What are basic necessities of life? Water, क्लोथिंग नहीं, ऐसे घूमने का पत्ता पहन के. मेरी स्कूल में तो इट वाज फूड, क्लोथिंग एंड शेल्टर. फूड में वाटर आ गया. You sure you were taught in school food? Then I will change my mind of St. Mary's. Food water था कि clothing था? Clothing. Food is a basic necessity. Cooked चाहिए तो Zomato, Swiggy, and raw materials चाहिए तो Nature's Basket, Big Basket, Grofers. I think हाँ Zepto. My brother works in Zepto only. Zepto हो गया, Instamart हो गया, 10-minute delivery, Dunzo, Blinkit, all of them. When was the last time we ordered from the local grocery shop? No one knows. काफी टाइम हो गया. Clothing, तो shopping का बात we did only. Shelter, every time I want to find out that this particular area, what is the property rate, or I actually don't visit. Go to 99 acres, Magic Bricks, all these websites. In whichever city, area, whatever you type, you will get an idea. That means basic necessities of life, food, clothing and shelter become online. Basic necessities, food, clothing and shelter was good till school level economics. In my humble opinion, you can disagree, you have the full right to do so. Two more things are a part of basic necessities now. Minimum two. Health and education. So health. Doctors have started giving consultancy on Practo. And medicines are being delivered from Pharmacy and NetMeds. So health has also become online. अपना जो भी pathology lab का test and all that also they have started mailing. Once upon a time we had to go to the lab and bring the hard copies. So healthcare has become online to a big extent. And education का बात नहीं करेंगे ना, that much is only good. I'm sure I must have told you that India में video lecture का concept launch करने वाला, it was me way back in 2013 when no one knew video lecture will work or no. It was a risk. क्या था? My class was going on. I paid a cameraman. तू भी आजा, पढ़ लेना साथ में. But please make sure that don't get so engrossed in what I say. If I am moving around the class, so move the camera also. ऐसा नहीं कि I have reached one corner and you are just कितना मस्त बोलता है रे. Yeah. Move the camera also. And then in due course, of course, software और वो सब आ गया, still camera आ गया, that you don't have to move. The camera is capturing everything. We launched it. Why? Because students of tier 2, tier 3 cities do not get quality education at the local level. In our days, they used to come to Mumbai. In our days, one classroom had 200, 300, 400. Any coaching class having less than 400 students is not doing good. Today, any coaching class in Mumbai has 30 students. No, that means it is doing really, really good. I am telling you. Because 90% crowd was outstation students. They have stopped coming to Mumbai. On one hand, Mumbai is becoming expensive. Yes. They are used to staying in huge bungalow wala houses. Either toilet is outside the house, balti leke jana. They are not used to traveling by local trains. Ahmedabad mein jis coaching class ke saath I used to work, they have a whole lobby in their building ka compound. 500 bikes ko park karne ka jagah, because every student comes with a bike. In Ahmedabad, if there are 5 family members, there will be 7 two-wheelers. दो spare में होता है. There is no public transport. They all, right बोल रहा हूँ? Minimum 2 or 3 तो they keep in spare, because wherever you go with your own two-wheeler. और students को वो two-wheeler का parking. मुंबई में faculty भी parking के लिए परेशान. Because students तो don't ask for parking. Okay, faculty is also sick and tired. No parking. बराबर है क्या नहीं? तो students have stopped coming to Mumbai. ये आइडिया बिहाइंड वीडियो लेक्चर्स क्या था? स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ दोस सिटीज हु नाउ डोंट वांट टू कम टू मुंबई बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एक्सपेंसिव सिटी बट स्टिल वांट गुड क्वालिटी एजुकेशन. दिस इज नाउ बीइंग मिसयूज्ड बाय स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ मुंबई. सर पेट दुख रहा है सर, कैन आई ज्वाइन लाइव? सर दिस हैपेंड, सर दैट हैपेंड, ये वो. मैं तो डे 1 को ही बोल दिया था. व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू? नो मतलब नो. ओके, डोंट टेक इट इन द रॉन्ग सेंस कि सर ने बोल दिया कि मरेगा तो ही तेरे को ऑनलाइन अलाउ करूंगा. द आइडिया हियर इज नॉट दैट आई वांट टू हार्म यू बाय नॉट गिविंग इट. द आइडिया इज आई डोंट वांट यू टू टेक फिजिकल लेक्चर्स फॉर ग्रांटेड. ओके, इन एनी केस आपका सर्कमस्टेंस जेन्युइन है कि नहीं, आई विल डिसाइड एट माई डिस्क्रिप्शन. आई कैन गिव इफ आई वांट. But whether your case was genuine or not genuine, that call I will take. Okay. On that basis. You can't say पेट दुख रहा है मतलब genuine. That is never genuine. आप समझ गया ना? Okay. तो, obviously, you will not have any problem. ठीक है? लेकिन, there are students who are misusing this facility given. And then, you know what happens? Sir, उसको क्यों दिया? If you gave him, then give me also. So allowing one person invites problem from other people. So ये education हम कितना भी try करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं ना, that dear students, use your brain. What I can do when I am standing in the class and when I am physically present, a video can never do that. क्लास में ना 4 घंटा if I am talking, no, you don't have the guts to stand and go anywhere. Sir, break देना, sir देना, भाग नहीं देगा. In class I can do that, but when you are watching my video, ये बहुत बोलता है तू, stop, help. In online lecture I am under your control, no. You can make me stop talking. Every time students purchase our video lectures, we get a data, and our software also tells us के total 200 hours का CA final का lecture है, तो which student has watched how many hours. We get all the data from our backend, from our software. Records say 30% students buy lectures and don't activate the lectures also. Watching नहीं, activate ही नहीं. Okay. I dislike video lectures का concept, and I say that despite being the highest seller of my subject across the country. Because हम कितना भी try कर ले, online is the future. We can't stop it. So basic necessities, food, clothing, shelter, health, education, everything has become online. Next step. Now that transactions are happening in the digital space, so identification of location will be difficult. Next step. One part of my discussion with you is over. Next step. If the seller of goods or services online is a resident, we are not interested in the location. Do I explain this line or I go to my third step? You understood? If the seller is a resident, we are not interested whether it is Indian income or foreign income, because global income. But now talk about a situation where non-resident and is doing online sales. Non-resident है मतलब resident वाला rule cannot apply, and online sales है मतलब you cannot determine the location. This has been a very, very big problem. Problem started about 1 decade ago, but last few years it has become a big problem. और इसीलिए एक इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है कॉल्ड OECD, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट. इट गिव्स सम सजेशंस टू कंट्रीज इन द वर्ल्ड. सिंपल लैंग्वेज में वी कॉल देम सजेशंस, लीगल लैंग्वेज में दे आर नोन एज एक्शन प्लान. सजेशन. OECD इज टॉकिंग टू लीडर्स अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. सुनो बे लीडर लोग, मोदी जी, पुतिन जी, बाइडन, सुनो. You understand digitalization is the future. You understand that in digitalization you cannot identify the location. And you understand that non-residents will now start selling goods and services in your country using digital modes. If they sell physically, they attract tax because location becomes India. But if they sell digitally, they escape. So start taxing virtual permanent establishment. Please be with me. Start taxing क्या बोला? What is a permanent establishment? A permanent establishment is a place of business or profession. It can be a branch, office, factory, workshop, place of management, anything like that. If it's a physical place, then you can identify the location. And if that location is India, then we levy tax. But if the transaction has happened virtually, so we cannot identify the location. OECD gave an action plan, gave a suggestion. Dear governments across the world, please start taxing this also. In other words, start taxing those who are doing online business. But Indian government said that if we start levying income tax, then it will invite protest. क्योंकि income tax लगाने के लिए there are two conditions. Either assessee has to be resident or income has to be Indian. Assessee is definitely non-resident, otherwise we did not need suggestions. Residents have to pay tax. And income के लिए we need the location, and location is not possible. It is not possible to determine in digital space. So we will not levy income tax because OECD only gave suggestion. It is an international organization. You've heard of United Nations? Similar organization. UN talks about peace matters. OECD talks about financial economic matters. So a lot of people have given a lot of suggestions in life. Have you ever listened to anyone? You? Never? तो OECD बहुत देखा तेरे जैसा. Thank you for your suggestion. We don't want to levy tax. Be with me please. but we will apply something called an equalization levy. What will we apply? At a rate as low as 6% for advertisement services and 2% for all other goods and services. अब इनकम टैक्स का रेट कैन तो गो टू एज हाई एज 30, अ वेरी वेरी नॉमिनल रेट. क्या ठग लाइफ है अपने गवर्नमेंट का. गवर्नमेंट सेज नो नो, हम इनकम टैक्स नहीं लेगा, इट विल बी अनफेयर, वी डोंट वांट इनकम टैक्स, वी डोंट वांट इनकम टैक्स, बट गिव अस, मीन दे जस्ट चेंज द नेम. अच्छा एक बात बताओ, whether in the name of income tax or in the name of any other levy, you have to pay this to the government. You know there is no name written on money. Sonam Gupta bewafa hai. Do you know that? There is no name written on money. You have to pay this equalization levy. So any non-resident doing online business will have to pay this. This is as far as your sales is concerned. So it was also a suggestion given by OECD that if sales have taken place online, to start levying this nominal tax, very little tax. Government did not levy income tax, but they levied equalization levy, only the name is changed, otherwise they are levying this tax. But as far as meetings are concerned, because question aapka wo tha, and then I told you that why did you ask only about meetings? When we spoke about Indian income, foreign income, so us time pe you should have asked, no sir, online income. When I said resident will pay tax on world income, but non-resident will pay tax on Indian income, so us time pe you should have asked, no sir, India mein bhi to you can earn online income. What about that? So uska answer we have, because OECD recommended and India incorporated this provision in the law. But as far as the meetings are concerned, which have started happening online, earlier aisa nahi hota tha. Earlier if we had to meet, we used to travel. Even America was not very far. बोला मीटिंग के लिए जाना है. But now from Charni Road to Dadar also बोला चलना हो यार, Zoom पे ही कर ले, और Google Meet और Microsoft Teams. In this circular, by now do you still remember the circular? Circular on poem given by CBDT. CBDT initially when this circular was first time made, they wrote about number of employees, number of meetings, all that. It is about time now that they bring a supplementary circular, ya they say that we are cancelling the old circular and bringing a new circular in its place, where they also give us answers to what about those meetings that have happened on Zoom, because last 2.5 years only that has happened, and next 25 years only that will happen, and the rest of the remaining time remaining with the world, that will happen, because it is very very convenient. As of now, they have not brought any circular which is targeting your online Zoom meetings. So when they say that a portion of your meetings have to take place in India for the purpose of applying POEM, the meeting has to be physically done in India. So in other words, as of now, there is a loophole in the law that you want to avoid POEM. If you do those many meetings in India, the POEM will get attracted. Avoid doing those meetings in India and do those meetings, aap batao, on Zoom. So that will make us escape the POEM wala circular, with which we will become, kyunki POEM hua to resident, otherwise non-resident, with which we will avoid paying tax on global income. When people will start doing that, government will realize, assessing officers will communicate, sir dekho, earlier this company used to keep meetings here, now it is keeping online and escaping POEM, sir do something. When that communication will go from the officers, at that time they will take the initiative. But you can expect it at any point of time. It is possible that right now we are discussing an evening, there is a circular. It is possible that you all are attending live right now, but the recordings that are going to take place, students are going to watch for 1 full year. Sir, 1 full year, क्योंकि May 23, November 23 का portion is same. Physical lecture may be conducted one more time for November students, but recording does not need to be done again, क्योंकि assessment year same है. All questions or explanations, everything is going to be same only. So 1 year तक people are going to watch these lectures till November 23 exams. तब तक कभी भी circular can come at any point of time. It's an ever changing law. If you ever visit income tax का website, there is a website, incometaxindia.gov.in. Okay, उसमें links रहता है, act, rules, circular, notification, forms, ऐसा अलग अलग लिंक है. Every day something new will come. Someday some form will come, someday circular will come, someday notification will come. And there are huge number of Telegram channels, WhatsApp groups where people give daily income tax updates, because daily something is coming, daily updates come. I also make it a point that whenever any new circular, I don't share all the circulars with students. Because there are some circulars which are not relevant for exams. So if I start sharing and student reads but does not understand, will get confused. You know, we'll lose some confidence. यार समझ में नहीं आ रहा. So I share with student database only those circulars which will affect your studies for exams. वही अपना टेलीग्राम चैनल. वीडियो अगर शेयर करना होता है तो यूट्यूब, एंड डॉक्यूमेंट्स अगर कुछ भी शेयर करना होता है तो टेलीग्राम. उसका भी QR कोड है बैक कवर. किया है ज्वाइन टेलीग्राम चैनल? नहीं है, बोल रहा हूं तो चेक क्या करना. सब्सक्राइब किया यूट्यूब पे तो वेन, चल छोड़, पॉइंट पे आते हैं. पॉइंट इज दिस दैट लेवी टैक्स ऑन ऑनलाइन इनकम was recommended and incorporated, भले not by calling it income tax but by calling it equalization levy. But what to do with the virtual meetings has not been clarified in any circular so far, but it will be clarified at any point of time. It can happen as early as today evening also. As of now, there is no provision or no law which is targeting this. Are we clear on this? So, an Indian company will be resident when? Always. Foreign company will be resident when? Only if the place of effective management is in India. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Abhinandanam. You know why? First part of the chapter, that is residential status, hereby comes to an end. अभी हम क्या करेगा? We had some questions on residential status, exclusively on residential status, जिसमें scope of total income is not asked. Advanced level questions of this chapter are what? Where they will give you about assessing. First tell you to determine residential status and then tell you to compute taxable income. They'll give you list of incomes, Indian income, foreign income. Based on residential status, you will compute taxable income. But for that, you need to know both. Right now, you can solve only those questions which are only on residential status. अब मजा क्या आने वाला मालूम है? I did individual का residential status yesterday. Then I did others ka today. So by now you have forgotten individual ka residential status. देखता हूं. We will solve sums. And by the time we finish individual ka sums, you must have forgotten HUF का company form का. चलिए देखते हैं. We will go to the questions. I think we had finished question 1 and 2. Yes, sir. Question number 3. That's on page number 9. Question number 3, page number 9. And question का rule class में बहुत simple है. Someone will have to read the question loudly. I am in no mood to show you my reading talent. बराबर है? तो कौन पढ़ रहा है? पढ़. सब लेक्चर में all subjects you only read. क्योंकि the moment I say read, everyone is like Neil. तो so obvious है. ठीक है, read question number 3.
Question number 3. Mr. X is an Indian citizen who receives an employment offer from a company in Nigeria. He leaves India for the first time on September 26, 2011 for joining his duties in Nigeria. During the previous year 22-23, he comes to India for 176 days. Determine his residential status for assessment year 22-23. And assessment year 23-24. His total income from Indian sources is rupees 1 lakh, i.e. interest income. He has no other
i.e. That is. हाँ.
He has no other income in India.
हाँ. तो what is the required part of the question? What does the question want you to do? अगर ये कर लिया तो we will give you marks. What is that? Compute the residential status for the assessment year 22-23 and 23-24. देखिए वैसे तो for your exam which is the assessment year applicable 23-24, but if they are asking you to compute for both, then you will have to compute for both. Obviously अगर AY 22-23 का you will compute, तो PY 21-22 and AY 23-24 का you will compute, तो PY So one by one we will see. So he is an Indian citizen who got an employment offer from a company in Nigeria and leaves India on 26 September. I think पढ़ते पढ़ते you read this as 2011. नहीं, मेरा कान खुला था. ठीक है, it is 21. Okay. I think उसके बाद में he has not come only in the current year and see the next year. मतलब 20 to 23 में he has come for 176 days. He has left India for the first time. मतलब can I say before 21, 22, that is 20, 21, 19, 20, 18, 19, all the years he was fully in India. That way आप देखोगे तो 365 days का, 730 days का, 2 out of last 10 years, everything will be fulfilled. But one thumb rule you follow is that whenever you have to compute residential status, first you will see current year का stay. जब तक you don't check current year का stay, no, you are not interested in 4 years or 7 years or 10 years. First step is always going to be stay in the current year. Current year इसलिए बोल रहा हूं because right now we don't have one previous year, we have 2 previous year. So we are talking about question number 3, which is on page number 9. Question is asking you to do this. किसी भी exam and not just direct tax, any exam, any subject, what question you are solving? जैसे FM में आपको बोल दिया that find out the cost of capital, तो आपका heading will be that only, computation of cost of capital. Costing का nothing has started. One lecture also has not started. Will start now. Okay, ठीक है. तो यहां पे what is the question asking you to do? That will also be our heading. Whatever is the required part will be our heading. Okay. But they have asked you for 2 assessment years. So AY 22-23, which means PY 21-22, we will do for this. And then AY 23-24 also. So first step is always going to be in the previous year, what is your stay in India? जाके check करो. 21-22 में he has left India on 26 September. That means, do you understand at the beginning where was he? India. So April में how many days he spent in India? 30 days. May में 31. June में, July में, August, ये 2 महीना बैक टू बैक 31 होता है क्या? नहीं, जस्ट चेकिंग. September में he left on 26. How many days? अरे left 26. But if time is not maintained, तो outgoing day will also be counted as in India. Very good. You've solved on उसमें से read कर रहे हो ना? You not solved. I asked you all to solve and come. हाँ, what's the total? नहीं, it is possible that you have solved but totaling में you went wrong. It is possible. क्या कीच? It is possible. You are not wrong. That's a different thing. And in CA exams, calculators are not allowed. They are, हाँ, ये मालूम है. I was also taught this. तो बोलो total. 179 days in this year. Okay. तो 182 तो नहीं हुआ. If this was 182, तो we would have called him a resident. But 182 नहीं हुआ. No problem. नहीं हुआ तो नहीं हुआ. We can apply. Current year का 60 हुआ है. See, if this was 59, then also answer was over. But current year we are between 60 and 181. So we can go and check last 4 years. Yes or no? No. No. He is a citizen of India who is going abroad. क्या काम के लिए? And therefore, condition 2 not applicable, mitro. So 182 वाला condition not fulfilled. 63, 65 not applicable. Citizen of India earning more than 15 lakhs. For that data is given to you. Only 1 lakh. That means that is also not fulfilled. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore the assessee is. So all those who said, okay, sir, check the last 4 years, you are wrong. Is your final answer non-resident or ROR? Non-resident. How did you get non-resident? When you checked the last 4 years, then why did you say yes? You said no, yes. Check the last 4 years. You said yes, check the last 4 years. You said yes, check the. तो मंगेश बोला ना check the last 4 years. ना क्या झूठ क्या बोलता है? I saw you saying yes. So your answer was what? कैसे? अगर last 4 years check किया तो ये बढ़िया था नहीं? Now are we clear that if you fall in the exceptions, वो last 4 years we won't check ही नहीं करेंगे. Are we clear? And directly enough. Had he not been in the exceptions, a normal person in India ऐसे घूमने के लिए has gone out. Okay. So here we saw 60. Then we would have said stay during the last 4 years. But first step is always going to be to check the stay for the previous year for which you are determining the residential status. समझा क्या? If yes, तो assessment year 23-24, which means previous year. I think here तो they don't have, you have not been given when he came, when he went. They have just given you 176 days. So current year means the previous year for which we are checking. 22-23. 182 has not taken place. No problem. 60 हो गया, 365 check. And therefore, once again, how many people got both right? किया ही नहीं. What did you? After checking last 4 years, what was your answer? OR was your answer. Because you checked last 4 years. मतलब the mistake that you made was exception में आता है वो click नहीं हुआ. अगर exception में आता है वो click हुआ, then you will not check only last 4 years. Directly your answer will be non-resident. बराबर है? चलिए. Next is question number. देखो क्लास का क्वेश्चंस आई विल डू और होमवर्क क्वेश्चंस में मतलब एडिशनल क्वेश्चन बैंक में प्लेंटी ऑफ क्वेश्चंस है. प्लेंटी ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ओके, फॉर योर फर्दर प्रैक्टिस. अभी के लिए विल गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 ऑन पेज नंबर 9 है कि 10 है? 10. Please read the question. Question number 10. Question number 4. Sorry.
Pollock, the South African cricketer, has been coming to India for 102 days every year since the last 12 years. Find out his residential status for the assessment year 2023.
Pollock has been coming to India for how many days every year? And for how many years? 12 साल से he is coming. बस इतना ही डेटा दिया है. Very easy. सुनो, you tell me the heading. Determination of residential status. For which AY? So if that is the AY, तो which PY? सबसे पहले you will check stay in the current year. How many days? 102 days. I'll not tell you what I am writing on paper that you can see. I'll tell you what is going on in your mind. If this was 182, I would have drawn my conclusion here itself. If this was a 59, I would have drawn my conclusion here itself. If it is a 60 to 181, so we have to check the last 4 years. So, what is your stay during the last 4 years? When we say 4 years, can I say 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21 and 21, 22? These 4 will be your last 4 years. What is your stay? यहाँ पे this question is very easy because they have given you same number of days every year. Sometimes they will give you date. ये date को आया, date को गया, date को आया. So you have to classify that year by year and calculate. But no worries. Here it is very easy. 102 into that makes it. Therefore, is he fulfilling the criteria of minimum 60 year? Is he fulfilling the criteria of minimum 365 years? Yes. Yes. That means he has become a. Is he a citizen of India going abroad for earning? तो सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया कैसे हुआ? नॉट मेंशन्ड भी कैसे हुआ? मेंशन्ड है ना साउथ अफ्रीकन क्रिकेटर. इज ही अ सिटीजन और पीआईओ कमिंग फॉर अ विजिट? पहली बात तो इज नॉट कमिंग फॉर विजिट, इज कमिंग फॉर अर्निंग. एंड सेकेंडली ही इज नॉट सिटीजन और पीआईओ. So anyways, he does not fall in both exceptions. That means 63, 65 is applicable. And now that he has become a resident, we will now go and check the additional conditions. Step number 2, very good. Additional conditions. 2 conditions. पहले ये ले लेता हूं. 2 out of last 10 years. Are you a resident in 2 out of last 10 years? Yes. Last year 102. उसके पहले का 4 साल 408. So you were resident in last year. The year before that 102. उसके पहले का 4 years 408. I'll tell you something. He is a resident in all the last 10 years. Because he is doing 63, 65 for all the last 10 years. We want only last 2 nahi, any 2 out of last 10. But he is a resident in all the 10. So this condition is fulfilled. And what is the second condition? Last 7 years ka 730 days. So last 7 years. Can I say 15, 16 से start करके? What's his stay in India? 102 per year. So 7 years का 714. This is less than. Equal to नहीं रहे. Equal to होता तो फिर we would have said satisfied. Less than 730. Had it been equal to तो चलता. And therefore the SSA becomes R N O R. Understood? मित्रों, वेरी इजी. चलिए लेट्स गो. अच्छा, ये हाउ मेनी पीपल गॉट दिस राइट? आई थिंक दिस एवरीवन शुड हैव गॉट राइट. चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. हाँ, ये ना फॉर्मेट, दिस फॉर्मेट. और मैं बताता हूं, दिस फॉर्मेट, this is a concluding line, or alternatively this line. You can write the full sentence. Therefore Pollock is a resident but not ordinarily resident. So whatever is given here in the printed book is the actual exact format to score the best marks. सुनना ध्यान से, exact. अगर आपने ये लिखा, ओके, यू गेट मार्क्स फॉर डूइंग दिस ऑल्सो, मे बी 1 or 2 लेस देन दैट फॉर्मेट. एक्सक्यूज मी. इफ यू आर रनिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम इन योर एग्जाम, इट इज लाइकली एमसीक्यूज में बहुत टाइम लग गया फॉर सम रीजन, यू कैन राइट इट लाइक दिस. यहां तक आए ना, यू हैव द राइट आंसर. नो, if it's a 5-6 mark का question, you lose maximum 1 mark. But ये लिखने के चक्कर में, if you end up not solving an 8 mark का sum because you don't have time, so that benefit lost is more dangerous than losing 1 mark here. So if you ask me what is the best way of writing the answer, this. And your additional question bank which is there, it's completely taken from ICAI study material. All questions and answers are word to word from study material. So exact format of writing answers is additional question bank, which is this only, because these are also similar questions from past years ka database. Okay, and that is current study material. But this is also accepted. I told you, no, CA inter में accounts में I got 79 marks. I did not use pencil and ruler scale even for one question. Not even one. Don't say this to Surana. Don't say it to him. सिंगल एंट्री का सम, सिंगल एंट्री का चैप्टर हुआ है अकाउंट्स में. यू हैव टू मेक आई थिंक 10, 15, 20 अकाउंट्स. These days I am not used to making accounts like these. तो थोड़ा सा लाइन हिल जाता है. Not that much though, but those days while practicing only I had made my hand perfect that no one can make out that it is done freehand. समझा आप मेरी बात को? With pen, पेंसिल में से हमारे ऐसा डेकोरेट करता है, ये बराबर नहीं आई इसमें. You don't have time, it's 100 mark paper. My friends were not able to complete that accounts paper at 30 marks. होशियारी के चक्कर में. And I got those many marks only because I completed the paper, because the time that I saved by doing this. I must have lost neatness का marks. ये स्कूल का साइंस का पेपर तो है नहीं. I lost neatness का marks, but I still scored better than others. This analysis as a professional student, उस टाइम पे वो 3 घंटे में you will have to do. If you think time है मैनेज हो जाएगा, तो this is the best way to do it. If you think नहीं हो पाएगा, तो this also will bring marks. Are we clear? Difference इतना नहीं होएगा, but not being able to complete your paper will make a bigger difference. सर को बोलना मत ये सिंगल एंट्री का एंट्री. हाँ, अभी 12 साल हो गया, लेकिन I still I'm student तो I was 16 years पहले, but I am still scared. Okay. वैसे I am not scared of anyone on the planet except madam at home, of course, and sir, not because I am working with him, but because he is my guru. इसके लिए it's less of fear and more of respect. So he will not like, तू साला ऐसा किया था अकाउंट्स के पेपर में, he will not like it. Okay, that is the reason. तुमको क्या, तुमको पंचायती है ज्यादा, are you a postman? नहीं ना, तो you will not say this. Okay, sir. Question number 5.
Mr. X, an Australian citizen, furnishes the following information regarding his visit to India. Financial year 18-19, 55 days, 19-20, 70 days, 20-21, 80 days, 21-22, 140 days, 22-23, 68 days. Determine residential status.
Again the required part is same only. चलिए, let's do that. This is your question number 5. Determination of residential status for which assessment year? देखो यार, all questions in your exam will be for this year only. It was only a rare case where they asked you, दोनों 21, 22 and 22, 23. So previous year 22, 23 is the first thing that you will check. What is the state during 22, 23? 68 days. That is so clearly given to you. Mind में क्या चल रहा है? Tell me. I don't want to know what you have written on your paper. When you did this, what was going on in your mind? Learn to do things on your own. What was going on in your mind? 60 हो गया. Anything else came to your mind? Like ऐसा कि यार this is not 182. हो जाता तो I would have stopped here. It didn't come only to your mind. ऐसा नहीं. मतलब I am teaching you the process in your mind. I am not teaching कि अभी पेपर पे क्या लिखना है. पेपर पे you would have got the right answer by now. I know that. Mind का thought process should be very clear. How should your brain think? What should be the chronology in your brain? 68. My brain is thinking how I am telling. 182 नहीं हुआ. नहीं तो I would have gone to step 2 here itself. 59 नहीं हुआ. नहीं तो I would have closed the sum here itself. 60 to 181 के बीच में. So before I check last 4 years, mind says, check करो. Is he a citizen going outside for earning? No. Is he a citizen or PIO coming for a visit? That means 63, 65 is applicable. अब जाके I will go and check. So on paper I have written only this much and you have also written that only. But in my mind, how many things have happened? If you understood that? Last 4 years. Given to you, no? Clearly दिया हुआ है. 140, 80, 70 and 55. 140 plus 80 plus 70 plus, that's a total of Every time you calculate this total, no? So no, in any question, make sure everyone calculates. If one person in the class is answering and by chance that turns out to be wrong, so after class you come and tell me, sir, आपण हे wrong केला आहेत. I will slap you in Marathi. Why were you झोपला होता in class? Have you paid other people to do it on your behalf? No, you do things for your own. And when multiple people do it, one is wrong, no, the other will verify that. It's like an internal check. Samjha? So everyone agrees with 345? Yes. Draw a conclusion. Not a resident nahi bolne ka. You should say non-resident. Assessee therefore is a non. And manner of writing answer. Is this clear? Okay. Question number 6.
Mr. Z, a USA citizen, left India after a stay of 10 years on 2nd July 2020. During the financial year 2022-23, he comes to India for 1 year on 1st November 22. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 23-24.
Once again, question आपसे क्या पूछना है? Determination of residential status. That's our heading. For the assessment year 23-24, that means for the previous year 22-23. Observe कीजिए, he has left India in this year. Left India in this year मतलब at the beginning of the year he was in India, and then he has left on which date? No, here in fact he left India 2 years ago. He has come to India this year in November. So he has not left India, he has come to India. When did he leave India? 2020. So before 2020 he was in India for a period of 10 years. In 2020, matlab 2021, he was in India in April, May, June, and he left on 2nd July. Then 2021 he did not come to India. 21-22 he did not come to India. 22-23 mein he came to India. Not in April, May, June, July, August, September, October, directly on 1st November. Effectively, 22-23 ka stay in India starts from which month? November. He came on 1st, so we will start from 2nd. No? So, incoming day will be included. 30 days. Now continue. Continue. December, full year he was here. See, he has come for 1 year. So now he is here only, no? 31. Jan, 31. Feb, 28. March, 31. Some are like, sir, continue. Arey, kai ka continue? Previous year is over. So you have to bring the cut year. The total stay during this year is 151 days. Now, I know what you have written. I am not interested in that when you solve this question at home. I am interested in now what's your brain telling you. After my explanation in the previous question, what is your brain telling you now? 182 नहीं हुआ है, नहीं तो I would have made him resident. Then 59 नहीं हुआ, नहीं तो I would have made him. This is 60 to 181. So I will have to now what? Before I check last 4 years. Is he a citizen going outside for employment? No, citizen. आप बोलेगा हाँ सर citizen Indian citizen. नहीं तो समर लाइक के सर देखो ये बोला है सर citizen. Is he a citizen of India going outside? No. Or citizen or PIO coming for a visit? तो 63-65 is applicable. Correct है? That means 60 is done. Now we will go and check. आराम से हाँ. This you can go wrong. First decide what are the last 4 years. 21-22? 20-21? 18. He was in India for a period of 10 years. First time he left in this year on 2nd July 20. 2nd July 20 comes in 2021 or 1920? आराम से 2nd July 20 comes in Pakka? That means 18, 19, 19, 20 he was in India for how much time? 365 days. 1920? Is there a printing error? Change this. it has to be 366. वैसे फर्क कुछ नहीं पड़ता है, because we wanted total 365. Okay, but change this, rectify this. बंद कैसे करेगा? मर जाएगा क्या? क्या करूं मैं? मर जाऊं, मेरी कोई फीलिंग्स नहीं है. हमें स्कूल में पढ़ता है क्या? इफ यू वांट टू गो एनीवन, ऐसा कोई इमरजेंसी डोंट कंट्रोल. वी डोंट हैव एनीवन टू क्लीन. इफ यू वांट टू गो यू कैन जस्ट गेट अप एंड गो. दैट डज नॉट मीन के सर चाय पीने के लिए जा रहा हूं. ये टेम्परेचर आई इंक्रीज, लेकिन ये बढ़ नहीं रहा है. बढ़ा ना? सम साउंड केम? थोड़ा गर्म हुआ? नहीं, नथिंग इज हैपनिंग. मेरे को लगता है इसमें एवरीथिंग एल्स इज डिसेबल्ड. ठंडा हुआ कि गर्म हुआ, आई डोंट नो. आप बता देना 5 मिनट में. हाँ, वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन 365 डेज टोटल. तो अकेला 18-19 में हो रहा है. ओके, स्टिल वी विल स्टिल ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट 2021 में कितना डेज था. जब हमको एग्जैक्ट डेज लिखना है तो लेट्स राइट एग्जैक्ट डेज ओनली. व्हाट इज हिज स्टे इन इंडिया ड्यूरिंग द लास्ट 4 years विच इज मोर देन 365? लेट्स फाइंड आउट इन 2021. व्हेन द ईयर स्टार्टेड ऑन 1st April, वेयर वाज ही? तो अप्रैल में वी विल काउंट हिम इन इंडिया, मई में, जून में, जुलाई, because outgoing day also will be included. That's a total of 93. And then after he left, he directly came in 22-23. Yes, sir. Correct or no? इसके पहले he was not here only. So in this year, 0. Understood? Yes. So what does this total come to? Obviously, I told you to rectify that, this thing. This is 366 because it was a leap year. Are we fulfilling 60 days ka criteria here and the 365 days ka criteria here? And therefore the assessee becomes, once the assessee becomes resident, we will have to go and perform our step 2. अब देखो, there are 2 ways of doing it. One way is, sir चलो ना last 7 years का total करते हैं. That's one way. Okay. Then you have to do for last 10 years also. Obviously. Another way, use your brain if you have any. 4 years में उसका total stay in India is coming to 824, which is more. अच्छा, by the way, इसके पहले भी question has said he left only first time after 10 years. So all the years, if you add 3 more years, full year he was here. And even if it was 000, still already 730 हो गया. That means, do you understand that 730 days has been fulfilled in last 7 years? As it is already fulfilled in last 4 years? Yes, sir. Yes. And second, last how many years में से? Out of 10, minimum 2. He has to be a मित्रों 1920, 1819. In fact, these are 4 years. 6 more years before this you check. So he was here only. And therefore he is resident in minimum 2. Therefore he is resident and ordinarily resident. How many people got this right? Everyone? Well. Which calculation mistake? Mostly it will be this calculation only. यही wrong था ना? Okay. So that is why I told you don't read the answers even after solving, because if you would have read the answers, then the entire exercise that we are now doing a total waste to them. चलिए, fantastic. That was question number 6. Let's go ahead. Next question.
Question number 7. Mr. Fan, Indian citizen, left India on 24/9/22 after qualifying Chartered Accountancy exam in Paris to work as a chief accountant. Determine his residential status for the assessment year 23-20.
Mr. Fan, an Indian citizen, left on which date? 24th September. मतलब when the year started. ये तो अपना बेसिक जो राइटिंग है दैट इज डन. Year started on 1st April 22. In the month of April, where was he? In India or outside India? So April he was in India because he has left in September. How many days? 30. Continue. May में how many days? June में, July में, August में, September. Because he left on 24. How many days in the current year? Now let's check the last 4 years. Indian citizen going outside, and therefore condition 2 not applicable. Condition 2 not applicable. अभी एक बात बताओ, had this been 182 तो क्या हम लोग कुछ भी डिस्कस करेंगे? No. करेक्ट है? Had this been 59, still no discussion. This is 60 to 181, then we are interested in the last 4 years. But you're not. क्योंकि he falls in the exception, and therefore 63, 65 is not applicable. 182 has not taken place. Therefore, assessee becomes a non-resident. This is on an assumption that his income has not exceeded 15 lakh rupees. And the question has not given anything. So when the question is silent about that figure, you can't assume कि सर तब तो 15 लाख से ज्यादा होएगा ना. Newly qualified chartered accountant will get more than 15 lakh. In fact, you will have to assume that it is less than 15 lakh because most new chartered accountants don't get that much. You need little experience. So if you worked in a good firm during your articleship, you have good work experience, then you may get a good job immediately. Or if you are all India rank 1, 2, 3 or something like that, you may get a very good job. Otherwise, starting will not be with 15 lakh. Starting will probably half, but you will reach a particular limit or amount faster than anyone else. People find ACCA or CMA, CPA lucrative. Because sir, CA का starting salary is about 6 to 8 lakhs. So ACCA का भी starting salary, and it is so easy. In 3 years, a CA will reach 20 lakhs. ACCA may not be able to reach in 5 years or 10 years. Difference. Okay. So, अरे ये तो ऐसे practical discussion था. When the question is silent about 15 lakh, you can't bring that condition in between. Okay. Effectively, the assessee is non-resident. आपने तो सोचा भी नहीं होगा ना solve करने के time. Did you even think about that 15 lakh का condition? Or did you get the right answer, non-resident? Yes. But you should have thought about that also. Mind में क्या चल रहा है is also relevant. We don't write everything on paper. We decide in the mind and write on the paper. No? Mind में क्या चल रहा है that I have to discuss with you. Correct है क्या नहीं? चलो. Question number 8.
Question number 8. Mr. Y, after rendering services in India for 15 years, left India to England for employment on June 1st, 2020. He again came to India after taking an employment in India on 10 January 2023. Find out his residential status for assessment year 2023-24.
Now look carefully. He had left India in 2021. At that time, he had gone for the purpose of employment. So at that time, 63-65 was not available. Now in the year which we are discussing, ये mistake I don't want from anyone. क्योंकि if you don't look at the date and identify the year correctly, no, so there is a problem. Please look at the date carefully and tell me which financial year this is. So in the year 20 to 23, is he going outside or coming back? For the purpose of? If this word was visit, so our discussion will change. How? Why? वो तो ये है ना, or nothing is given. Okay. If he was a PIO and coming for visit, so what's your conclusion with that? What will happen with that exception? It matlab what? 63, 65 not applicable. But because he is coming for the purpose of, that rule only is not applicable. And therefore, my question to you is now this. 182 के साथ साथ is a 63, 65 also applicable? Yes? Because he is coming for When he left for employment. So at that time we did not apply 63-65. But when he is coming back, he is coming for the purpose of and not for, and therefore 63-65. समझा क्या? तो let's see. First we will check for previous year. How many days? Year starts in April. At that time, where was he? In India or outside India? May, June, July, August, September, all the months outside India. So his stay in India started from which month? January. So we start with the month of January. I want to know what you have written. 21 or 22? How many total days in January? 31. Very good. From those 31 days, how many days we have to exclude? 9. Why 9? Because the year of entry, the day of entry has to be considered as stay in India. This date ko he came to India, that will be included or excluded? And therefore we will subtract only 10th wala jo date hai na, you have excluded it and counted 21, but 10th has to be, so 21 days in January. Then what else? 22 days in January, because we are excluding only 9 days. Then after that, next month February, 20. In May 24 this answer will be 29. Barabar. And then March, 81. Now to tell me what is going on in your mind. If this was 182, resident. If this was 59, but now we will have to, and we have already decided that the condition is applicable because he is coming for employment. I think he left India on 1st June. Let's see whether you are able to compute the last 4 years properly or no. 21, 22, 20, 21, 19, 20, 18, 19. He left India for the first time on June 1, 2020. That's which year out of these 4? 2021. 1st June 20 को he left. Before that he was in India. So before that मतलब कौन सा साल? 19, 20, 18, 19 was he in India? 18, 19 how many days? 19, 20, 366. इधर भी printing error है क्या? Yes. So here also you will obviously change it. Why? Leap year. Correct? Next. 2021. Let's see whether you get this right. At the beginning of the year, where was he? In India or outside India? In India. Because he is left on. तो फिर April में how many days will count? May में, June में, accordingly 62 days. And what about 21, 22? Because he was outside, he directly came back in 22, 23, that also in January. So what's his stay? 0 plus 62 plus 365, 366. Just add 1 because you rectify that mistake. 793 days. Draw a conclusion. This is 60 or more. This is 365 or more. Therefore the assessee is, if I act clever, no, here itself I can also say therefore the assessee is also ROR. You know why? देख लेते हैं. Let me show. I'll show or you'll show. Last 4 years में ही उसका stay 793, which is 730 or more. Therefore 7 years में तो obviously it is fulfilling the criteria. And last 10 years, 10 क्या? 19, 20 ले लो, 18. I'll tell you something. 2021 also he is a resident only. Yes or no? Yes. No. Because at that time he had left for employment. So year 63, 65 was not applicable. Correct or no? So we are interested or no? We are not interested. We want only 2 out of the Last 10 years. Do we know before this all the years he was in India only? And therefore minimum 2 years का resident का criteria? And therefore the assessee becomes resident but ordinarily resident. Is that understood? Yes. This was right? Everything right? 365 का 366 मतलब printing में भी mistake है. Acceptable. Fundamentally did you go wrong? No? Otherwise you were able to analyze and decide correctly. तब तो residential status आपको आ गया. There are people who don't understand it at all. They spend endless number of days trying to learn it on their own. They don't get it. How many people got all the answers right? All right. Some minor mistake. मतलब minor means इतना minor के acceptable minor जैसा minor that you can tell yourself. Or alternatively you can stay back after the class and show it to me कि सर मेरा ये wrong था. तो I can decide for you कि minor mistake or big mistake. But what do you feel कि जो mistake हुआ भी it was ordinary मतलब acceptable mistake था कि it could have happened with anyone ऐसा कुछ था? Which misprint? एक बात बता. There was a misprint in the book, but you were not supposed to read the answer. So when you did, you were supposed to analyze के 2020 मतलब 29 days होएगा पहले. मतलब you were reading the answer and then simultaneously writing कि देखो जो misprint उधर है वो मेरा भी wrong. नहीं? क्या? हाँ, तो that you have to be careful. Okay. Other than that, कोई और mistake नहीं. Very good. So you have excluded 10th January, but you had to include 10th January. It won't affect your final answer. क्योंकि 60 से already ज़्यादा है. But still, had this been exact 60, so then your mistake, no? Correct? I think we had only till 8, no? हाँ. इसके बाद textbook में scope of total income starts. I am not doing scope of total income with you right now. ये सब जो questions है ना, ये you have to decide on the basis of assessees, ROR, RNOR और NR on the basis of incomes given. Solve करने के लिए अपने textbook में जगह है. We will solve this question there only. But अभी के लिए I am not doing scope of total income with you. Okay? I want to take you a little आगे. So question 9 is skipped. सुनो. As and when we do questions in class ना, अब ऐसा टिक मारते जाओ. जैसे question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are done. Why? Because we may not always solve questions in order. So if I ever have to ask you which question is done or which question is not done, you should have your answer. अब तक तो we have done all in order. But 9 नहीं हुआ क्योंकि 9 is on scope of total. We are coming to question number 10. Question number 10 is on page number 17. Please read the question.
The business of a HUF is transacted from USA and all policy decisions are taken there.
There. Full stop.
Mr. F, the Karta of HUF, who was born in Kolkata, visit India during previous year 22-23. After 15 years, comes to India. 15 years. He comes to India on 1st April 22 and leaves USA on 1st December 22. Determine the residential status of Mr. F and the HUF for assessment year 23-24.
So this time question is asking you determination of residential status, which is continuing as our heading all throughout. But what is the difference? This time they are asking you for Mr. F also and the. So you have to decide for both. And for both, for which AY? Correct है? What do you want to do first? I give you an option to do. You say कि sir ये पहले करना. Whatever you say will do. क्यों? कि individual we are doing since quite some time. तो चलिए Mr. F. Mr. F. What is the data given for Mr. F? He was outside India. Okay. He was born in Kolkata. He was born in Kolkata, मतलब citizen of India. He has gone outside India. He has come to India for a visit. He comes to India on which date? 1st April 22. That's the first day of the year. And leaves on 1st December. That means in 22-23, his stay will be from 1st April to 1st December. Let's start counting. April 30, May 31, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. He left on 1st, but we include that. Mental maths. Exam mein if there is 30 plus 1, no? So you will check on your calculator, it is 31 ke 30. 245. Is that right? Very easy to conclude the residential status of Mr. A. Therefore, he is a resident. And the moment he becomes resident, what do we start checking? Step 2. That's last 7 years ka 730. And 2 out of last 10 years ka. But Mitro, did you read? He comes to India after. And now that he has come to India after 15 years, that means last 7 years ka 0. 2 out of last 10 years? No. So, because he has come to India after 15 years, he will be treated as R NOR. HUF का residential status I don't know. I will have to determine. I am yet to do. That is the other part of the sum. But one thing I have concluded. See if you have understood. Whether the HUF is resident or non-resident, it won't become ordinarily resident. Because for ordinary of HUF, conditions have to be fulfilled by Karta. And Karta is not fulfilling any of the additional conditions. Correct or no? Yes or no? And therefore, for HUF, we will just check resident or non-resident. We will see number of days. So what we will see? Place of control and management. Decision making. Where are the decisions of this HUF taken? All the policy decisions are taken there. Matlab the control and management is wholly in India, wholly outside India, or partly in India, partly outside India? Wholly outside India. And agar wholly outside India hai, then the HUF will be treated as a. So no, if one decision was taken in India, then it would have become. Then still it would have become R and OR, क्योंकि कर्ता का additional conditions are not fulfilled. But here तो non-resident ही है ना. Correct or no, मित्रों? Understood? So the HUF is also non-resident and the Karta is resident but not ordinarily resident. So tick mara. Question number 10. Understood everyone? Yes sir. HUF ka residential status we studied today only. Okay. Now I will have to check whether we are in a position to do the question, because if the question involves the scope of total income, so we will not be able to do it. We will be able to do it only if it is only on residential status, which is question 11. You can read it please. Or tick karte jana. And in fact, if you observe chronologically, only 9 we have left. Okay, question 11, please.
Question 11. A foreign company having head office in Chicago has established a liaison office in Kolkata. The entity does not have a permanent establishment in India. The significant management and commercial decisions are in substance made at Chicago and at board meeting, but all the routine decisions of the day-to-day affairs of the said office is in India. The company is a resident in India. Do you agree?
Do you agree? Indian company का रूल क्या है? नहीं, always resident. But this company is a foreign company. For foreign company, for becoming resident, what is the criteria? Poem. Poem means where your major decisions are taken. Where are the major decisions, substantial decisions taken? Chicago. Only routine decisions are taken in India, and therefore the company becomes, and therefore the given statement is incorrect. In CA they can't ask you true or false. इज्जत डाउन होता है ना. तो what they ask, discuss the correctness of the following proposition. Do you agree with this? I disagree because the assessee is a non-resident. चलिए. Okay. Question 12 is on scope of total income. So is the case of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 also, 18. हम करेगा. Question number 18, page number 21.
Question 18. During the last 4 years preceding the financial year 22-23, Mr. Damodar, a senior citizen of India, was present in India for 430 days. During the last 7 previous years preceding the previous year 22-23, he was present in India for 830 days. Mr. Damodar is a member of a crew of a Dubai-bound Indian ship carrying passengers in the international waters, which left Kochi Port, Kerala on 12th August 22. Following details are made available to you for previous year 22-23.
Wait. He left on 12th August. मतलब one thing is for sure that April, May, June, July up to 12th August. Where was he? India. चलिए ठीक है. After 12th August the ship has gone. That means he has also gone. क्या दिया?
Date entered into the continuous discharge certificate in respect of joining the ship by Mr. Damodar.
मतलब the CDC is going to start on 12th of August. तो ये वाला date we will include in stay in India or exclude from stay in India?
Exclude.
CDC period will be excluded. And
date entered into the continuous discharge certificate in respect of signing off the ship by Mr. Damodar. 1st January 2020.
That means, can I say this is the date when he has completed his CDC? He has not come. CDC is going on till this date. That means ये period से लगा के ये period तक का जो data है, that has to be excluded. Whatever is the total number of days in the year, this period is going to be excluded. What else?
In May 22, he had gone out of India to Singapore and Malaysia on a private tour for a continuous period of 29 days. You are required to determine the residential status of Mr. Damodar for the previous year 22-23.
These 29 days will be counted as in India or outside India?
Outside India.
Outside India. Correct or no?
Yes.
That means see, during the full year, एक तो he has gone in an eligible ship. तो ship का जो period है, irrespective of whether he was here, for example 12th August को CDC started. 12th August को normal circumstances में we would have included because that is the outgoing day. But is the CDC going on? Then don't count that. And 12th August से लगाकर कौन सी date तक का period we will be excluding? मतलब this period you have to exclude from stay in India and these 29 days you have to exclude. इसको exclude करके what are you left with? First of all, what are the total number of days in a year? You can do it in some other way also, कोई problem नहीं है. 365. Okay? इसमें से we have to exclude. First, we have to exclude. This is very easy. Singapore, Malaysia on private tour. Yes or no? So we are excluding this. Singapore, Malaysia. How many days?
29.
And apart from that, we have to also exclude his CDC period. CDC period is from which date to which date? 12th August to 21st January. So how many days? ये कितना days है? एक एक करके. August में total days are how many? 31. But उसमें से how many we will remove? 12 or 11? 11 we have to remove क्योंकि 12th से we are counting his CDC. Yes or no? So how many days of CDC in August? एक बार वापस verify कर लेते. Total number of days in August? 31. CDC started on 12th. मतलब 12th को has to be counted in CDC. Yes, sir. That means how many days we have to exclude from CDC? 11. So how many days will remain in the CDC?
20.
Yeah, you can count like this 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. ऐसा करके आप समझा क्या? Effectively 20 days in August CDC चल. September full CDC. October full CDC. November full CDC. December full CDC. January 21 तक CDC was going on. तो 21 तक का period you have to count as a part of CDC. That means exclude from your stay in India. What does this total come to? So this also has to be excluded. We are excluding his private tour and we are excluding his CDC period from a total of 365 days. Accordingly, his stay in India comes to 173. ठीक है, 173 आ गया. Then last 4 years का तो 430 is given to you only. तो 63, 65 हो गया. Therefore, the assessee is when you reach all the way here, yes, हो गया. Ladies and gentlemen, this is less than 182 and condition 2 not applicable because he is a crew member of Indian ship. So 63, 65 is not applicable and 182 is not done. Therefore, the assessee becomes non-resident. समझा? अगर ये CDC period को you were not excluding, तो it would have become 163 days more. So he would have become resident. Then last 7 years का 730 is happening. Then everything is happening. But here the assessee is going to be a non-resident. Understood? Perfect. 100%. So 173 days are less than 182 and 63, 65 is not applicable to this assessee. And Daisy का भी foreign company है. Well, that's the end of all the questions on residential status. There are some more questions on residential status, but they are a part of the discussion of scope of total income. So we'll relax for about 10 minutes and then we will continue. For the video वाला भी welcome back after the break. They must be thinking कि हमारा break किधर हुआ, because pause किया and then वापस record button दबा दिया. तो where was the break? Because they take break whenever they want. They can make me keep my mouth shut whenever they want. No? तो इसके लिए उनको भी welcome back after the break. We are now going to move to the second part of the chapter, that is scope of total income. Part 2, scope of total income. Under this part of the chapter, your income is basically going to be divided into Indian income and foreign income. And as per what we have studied in the chapter already, Indian income के लिए, what is the rule? This is going to be taxable for whom? Or should I now say ROR, NOR and NR? At least something we have to do different. No, otherwise if I just write taxable for all या ऐसा कुछ, तो क्या होएगा पता है सर? दिस इज तो समथिंग दैट यू डिड एज एन इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ द चैप्टर ऑल्सो. तो डिफरेंट कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. डू वी नाउ नो दैट अंडर रेजिडेंट वी हैव गॉट फर्दर क्लासिफिकेशन इनटू ऑर्डिनरी एंड नॉट ऑर्डिनरी, दो इट इज ओनली फॉर 2 out of the 7 assessees. अरे कौन 2? इंडिविजुअल एंड HUF. वी ओनली हैव ROR का ब्रेकअप इन दोस 2. But in any case, Indian income will be taxable for all of them. Let's talk about foreign income. Foreign income is going to be taxable for resident. Wait. Why? क्योंकि here everyone has to pay tax now. So it's okay. अब यहां पे if I write ROR, तो क्या होगा पता है? Sir, you will say, sir, firm में तो ROR है ही नहीं. Sir, AOP में ROR is not there, no? That means if I write taxable for ROR and not taxable for the others, so you will say that, sir, in firm AOP there is no ROR. It's only resident. और ऑर्डिनरी तो कुछ है भी नहीं, तो उसके लिए नॉट टेक्सेबल यू विल ट्रीट. सो आई विश टू क्लैरिफाई, दिस इज टेक्सेबल फॉर रेजिडेंट. मतलब कैन आई से कि देयरफॉर नॉन रेजिडेंट के लिए इट इज नॉट टेक्सेबल, बिकॉज इट इज टेक्सेबल ओनली फॉर इन दैट. इफ इट इज ROR, तो इट विल बी टेक्सेबल always, because anyways at the beginning of the chapter this is what we had studied. Resident has to pay tax on world income. ये तो in course of learning the chapter we came to know कि resident is further classified into ROR and RNOR. Correct है कि नहीं? हाँ, तो ROR has to pay tax always. If you are RNOR, now this is where the difference in tax treatment between ROR and RNOR lies. I'll ask you a simple question. Will he pay tax on Indian income? Indian income पे तो टैक्स भरेगा even if you are a non-resident. तो RNOR तो obviously. Foreign income पे ROR से we will take, RNOR से we will not, ROR से we will take, non-resident से we will not take. RNOR का foreign income will be taxable. But taxable only if it is earned from a business which is controlled from, or a profession which is set up in India. A business which is controlled from India or a profession which is set up in India. Only both. Only that much. मतलब अगर इंडियन इनकम हुआ तो ऑलवेज टैक्सेबल. फॉरेन इनकम हुआ तो टैक्सेबल फॉर ROR, नॉट टैक्सेबल फॉर RNOR नहीं, नॉट टैक्सेबल फॉर NR एंड फॉर RNOR. इफ कंट्रोल्ड फ्रॉम इंडिया तो टैक्सेबल, अदरवाइज फॉरेन इनकम उसके लिए भी टैक्सेबल. तो RNOR फॉर टैक्स ट्रीटमेंट हैज गॉट सम कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ नॉन रेसिडेंट. नॉर्मल फॉरेन इनकम विल नॉट बी टैक्सेबल, and some characteristic of ROR, if it is controlled from India, then it will be taxable. अब याद करने की कोशिश करो. There were two cases where we forcefully made them resident. एक resident जो visit के लिए आया, who was otherwise not having the condition of 63-65 days, but if his income crossed 15 lakh rupees, which income? Indian income. एक बात बताओ, क्या Indian income तो anyways was going to be taxable even if you became non-resident. Correct? But your foreign income controlled from India, if that exceeds the 15 lakh, so we want tax. How? We will make you resident, but we will make you RNOR. Do you remember 12365 wala? And citizen not a resident in any other country. In both cases we said that they will always be treated as RNOR, because if we make them resident and then later we check 730 and 2 out of 10 years and we end up making them ROR, तो क्या होगा पता है? Their local income earned out there also will become taxable. Understand कीजिए, there is a person who is sent on a job assignment in Dubai. The business is controlled from the Indian head office. No problem. He is a citizen of India. He is not a tax resident anywhere क्योंकि दुबई में टैक्स नहीं है. And his salary supposedly is more than 15 lakh from the Indian company. So we want tax on that. And because we want tax on that, we will apply that rule. Citizen, not a resident anywhere else. And even if you come for visit, we will apply 12365. While we want tax on that salary income which is being paid from you, or paid to you from a business which is controlled from India, you may be having other local income in Dubai also. Supposingly India से salary is paid, you spend for your household work. उसके बाद में whatever salary is left, you must be making bank account investments in Dubai, property investment in Dubai, company investment मतलब dividend, rent, interest. We don't want to tax that local income. We want to tax only Indian income. नहीं, Indian income तो anyways is taxable. Income which is earned from a business or profession controlled from India. तो ये assessee जो RNOR है ना, इसका income I am dividing in 3 categories. Indian income, foreign income, and foreign income का 2 parts. Controlled from India or local foreign income, like local bank interest, local dividend, local rent. This we tax for which assessee? All assessees? So taxable. This we don't tax for non-resident. We do tax for ordinary resident, and we will also tax for not ordinary resident because this is being controlled from India. In fact, if this is crossing 15 lakh, then only we made you resident for taxing you on this. And we ensured that we don't end up taking tax from you on this. इसलिए for these people who were becoming deemed resident, जबरदस्ती वाला resident. Deeming in English is deeming, in Hindi it is जबरदस्ती. We have written that you will only be ordinary resident. Even if you fulfill 730, even if you fulfill 2 out of last 10, you will still remain ordinary, nahi, not ordinary resident. Even if you fulfill 730, even if you fulfill 2 out of last 10, you will still remain not ordinary resident. Kyunke? If by chance you end up becoming ordinary, so that will affect this also. Correct or no? We don't want tax on this. इसलिए by default we are telling you that you will always remain not ordinary. एक काम करते हैं. Let's come to that part of residential status. This part. First we wrote our step number 2. ROR or NOR. 2 conditions. Satisfy both. We have done plenty of questions. What are the 2 conditions? 730 days in last 7 years. Resident in 2 out of last 10 years. And then we added a line. Are you becoming resident due to 12365? That's the 15 lakh criteria. Indian income ka total and foreign income if controlled from India. Or you are becoming resident because you are not a resident anywhere else. That third condition of residence in step 1. So compulsorily we will keep you RNOR. And if we compulsorily keep you RNOR, so what will happen? The foreign income ka local sources will never be taxable. Because RNOR ke liye taxability is only for foreign income ka those sources which are controlled from India. And if that crossed 15 lakh, then only we made you resident. Otherwise, we were not making you resident also. Understood, no? And that is why that logic, I think I must have told you when I wrote that they will always be RNOR. They will always be RNOR. There is a logic I will tell you in scope of total income. Here is the logic. बहुत पढ़ लिया यार. Here is the logic. We want tax on this. We don't want tax on this. For taking tax on this, there is no problem. We can take from anyone. This. We can take from anyone. For taking tax from this, on this, you need to be a resident. If you end up becoming a non-resident, we will not be able to tax your foreign income. You understand? If in this same breakup, if assessee is ROR, everything is taxable. If assessee is non-resident, only this is taxable. Both of them not taxable. So if you end up becoming NR, we will not get taxed on this also and this also. This we don't want, but this we want. So we want to make you RNOR. So resident we are making you jabardasti the moment you cross 15 lakhs. But we will ensure that you don't become ordinary resident even if you fulfill 730 and 2 out of last 10 years. But we will not make you ordinary resident. We will not touch this. Touching this was never our intention. And this is why the Dubai ka Sheikh, next time when he is hugging Modi ji, what tight karke he is not going to break Modi ji ka bones. Because Modi ji showed his intention. Sir, I don't want tax on the local Dubai wala income. but I want a tax on those sources which are controlled from India. That means effectively our income will be Indian income and foreign income. Foreign income can be controlled from India or outside India, local. ROR will pay tax on all three. Non-resident will pay tax only on Indian income. And RNOR will pay tax on. That means this part of RNOR is same as ROR and NR. This part of RNOR is same as NR. And this part of RNOR is same as ROR. That's the difference. Have you understood? Everyone? Or if I remove RNOR from here and then I divide your income in these three categories, so let me see what is your status. Indian income. You just have to tell me taxable for ROR, RNOR, NR, none of them, all of them, just give me the answer. That means can I say ROR, RNOR, NR. Foreign का local sources का income, no Indian connection. No one? किसके लिए? Anyone or no one? No one? ROR के लिए everything is always taxable. Correct? And control from India. Come on, this time don't go wrong. ROR to always. And RNOR also. Followed? Everyone? Well, that's that way your scope of total income. But in order to understand scope of total income, we have to go and learn what is the meaning of Indian income. Because you know what is foreign income? Anything that is not Indian income is foreign income. Anything that is, क्या बोला मित्रों? Anything that is not Indian income will be foreign income. बराबर है? तो what do I have to teach you to finish this chapter? सच बोल रहा हूं. If I do that, chapter over है. If I teach you the definition of Indian income, chapter समाप्त. Finish. Are you understanding this? Fantastic. So what do you mean by Indian income? What is the tax treatment of Indian income taxable for? All assessees. So very important thing to note. Once the source of your income lies in India, that means everyone has to pay tax. What do you mean by Indian income? Indian income can be of two types. Type 1, any income that is received in India. Simple example में बोलूं तो, the payment was made to you in India is Indian income. And any income that has accrued, English, arisen, English, in India, shall I make it simple? That is work done in India. In both these cases, your income will be treated as Indian income. This or this, your income will be treated as Indian income. Not as easy as you think it is. You need to listen to my explanation. To earn income, income earning is a two-step process. Income earning is a two-step का process. So where was I? Sorry for the interruption. In order to earn any income, You have to follow a process of 2 steps. ध्यान से सुनना. Step number 1, you have to work to earn an income. हो गया उनको देख के तो मैं बोलूं, एक बार वापस करके दिखाओ, सबको देखना अच्छे से कैसे करना. हो गया. अब मैं बोलूं, will you look at me also? Okay, I also look handsome. So look at me. इनकम को अर्न करने का 2 स्टेप का प्रोसेस होता है. बी वेरी केयरफुल. Step 1, you have to work to earn it. And step 2, you get paid after you work. जब ये दोनों स्टेप कंप्लीट होगा, then you can say that I have earned my income. Seriously, sometimes when people in the coaching profession sit with each other and they have some discussion, they generally have an enlightened discussion. What is the condition of the economy? What is the condition of people in our city or in our country right now? So explained in 2 lines. मुंबई का करंट कंडीशन इज सच दैट पहले तो आपको कई काम मिल जाए. मोस्ट पीपल आर नॉट गेटिंग वर्क. ले ऑफ हो, ले ऑफ समझते हैं, फायर, वी डोंट नीड यू. तो फर्स्ट यू गेट वर्क एंड देन यू गेट पेड ऑल्सो. एक तो आपको काम मिल जाए और काम करके उसका पैसा मिल जाए, तो यू हैव अ गुड लाइफ. बिकॉज एज ऑफ नाउ there are people who don't have work, or there are people who have work, they have done their work and then they have not got paid for it. So you understand, कमाने के लिए 2 step का process you have to follow. Step 1, work for it. Step 2, get paid for it. Out of these 2 activities, if you have done anything in India, then it will be Indian income. What do you mean by accruing or arising? Any income arises in the place where you have done your work. Supposingly I am working right now in Mumbai का दादर area. That means my income. अब मैं ना area wise तो आपको नहीं explain करूंगा because we are interested in India का income tax. Am I working in India? That means income is accruing to me. Accruing means the right to receive my income. Where am I created? जैसे जैसे I keep on working, वैसे वैसे income keeps on arising. Where is it arising? In India. That's called income accruing or arising. Okay? And then once the work is completed, then comes the time to get your payment. You get paid, cash, check, whatever be the case. Here, that means I have received my income in India. But are you able to identify that doing work and getting paid are 2 different activities of one process called earning of income? And the process gets completed with both activities. ऐसा कोई compulsory chronology नहीं है that arising will happen first and then payment will happen, या payment will happen first. Sometimes there are people who insist on an advance. तो receipt will happen. देखो, if one is paying, other is receiving, no? So receipt will happen first, then you work. So हो गया. The moment you work, accrue and payment has already happened. Or option 2, majorly this only happens. You first complete the work, then get paid. And Bollywood movies like आधा काम होने के पहले, आधा काम होने के बाद, something like that also. Well, fair enough. No problem. Out of these 2 activities, any one activity, ये और है. You don't have to do both in India for it to be called Indian income. Any one happens in India, so it will be treated as Indian income. Now let me, if you have understood, let me ask you with examples. I am working in Mumbai, which is in India, and I got paid also in Mumbai, which is in India. That means the income has arisen in India. Henceforth, we will stop saying names of cities. We will just say India. In India क्या outside India? Income has arisen. Income is received. If I ask you it is Indian income or no, it is an insult to your talent. But I'm asking you and I'm insulting you. Is it Indian income?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Supposingly there is कोई भी फॉरेन कंट्री के फेमस सिटीजन का नाम बोलना. Is it so difficult? Joe Biden. He is working where? US. That means his incomes are arising where? US. He is getting paid where? That means he is getting receipt. Receipt where? Where is his receipt? That means work done also outside, payment received also outside. If I ask you whether it is Indian income or foreign income, I am insulting you. But I am still asking you. Foreign income? Matlab, if both the above activities have happened in India, work done, that is arising of income, and receipt of payment, so it will be treated as? Very good. If both activities have been done, means Biden worked outside, that's arising of income. Earned is a joint process of both. You earn when both happen. So we will say arise and receive. Together they mean earn. So Joe Biden arisen outside and got paid, matlab receipt also outside. So it will be treated as foreign income. Very good. Actual discussion is on the third and the fourth possibility, bro. These two I told you, if I ask you, I am insulting you. Actual discussion is on the third and the fourth possibility. Shall I?
Yes.
Shall we? Supposingly, I have done my work in India. I complete my batches in India. So what is the place of accrual, arising of my income?
India.
Accrued in India. And then I left for a family holiday. बोला बस थोड़ा थोड़ा holiday बनता है. And after 2020 outside India, so nobody has gone. I have not gone. And before 2020 also, it's been quite some time. Whenever there is a minor child traveling by air, do you know that up to the age of 2 years, there is no ticket that you have to buy. Just a nominal charge, airline charge. अगर domestic airline है तो 1000 rupees and international airline है तो 2000 rupees. तो 2019 में that minor child was born. सोचा उसको लेके जाएंगे 2020 में we were prohibited. सोचा अभी तो opportunity. By the time we got the opportunity, now he is commanding full ticket. बोला अभी तो फुल लगेगा. तो now plan postpone. अभी some other time. But supposingly after this batch I go. I have done my work in India. So income has accrued in India. Now when I am in the foreign country, फोन किया, बोला सर थोड़ा चाहिए था. सर का कैसा है, पूरे दुनिया में स्टूडेंट्स हैं. They have settled probably almost across the length and breadth of the world. ऐसा कोई कंट्री शायद नहीं होगा वेयर स्टूडेंट नहीं होगा. तो बोला सर आई एम करंटली इन दिस कंट्री, आई वांट मनी. सर ने बोला ठीक है दिलवाता हूं. वेरी इजी फॉर यू. और पेमेंट किधर हुआ? सो वर्क डन वेयर? Payment received outside India. This is also Indian income. Because the word used is, if any one of the two activities of the income earning process has taken place in India, to khatam, that income will be treated as Indian income. Understood? Would you like to guess what is the fourth possibility? Supposingly, there is an income that is accrued. Matlab, where did you do your work? Outside India. No problem. Supposingly, you are employee of an Indian company at a foreign branch. So full year you are working at the foreign branch. So while you are working, your income is arising. Where has your income arisen? Now you have come to the head office here for a few days. And while you are here, you said, sir, abhi idhar aaya hi hu, so give me my money, no please. And the company paid you here. Company paid matlab you received now. This mitro is also Indian income. So, very easy thing to learn and understand. Income earning is a process of two steps. That is, working and getting paid. Earning nahi, together it is earning. Working and getting paid. When we work, we call it income accruing, arising. Accrual ka matlab hota hai, as and when you work, the income keeps on. You have heard of accrual basis? Yes, matlab as and when you work, the income gets accrued to you. Correct? And finally, when it is accrued, one day it will be paid to you. That payment can happen before accrual as an advance or after accrual. That is not relevant. But the process gets completed when both activities are done. What two activities? Work and paid. Work and paid. Matlab accrual and receipt. Accrual and receipt. And when will income be Indian income? When both happen in India? When any one of the two activities happen in India, then the income will be treated as. If any one of the activities has happened in India, the income will be treated as Indian income. Is that understood? In other words, now we have reached a stage of this chapter where we can answer some questions. At the beginning of the chapter, we had these questions, but now we can answer. Virat Kohli, a resident, assume resident. He may have spent a lot of days outside India, assume resident, because that will depend on number of days. Okay. He is playing in India and getting paid in India. Is that Indian income or foreign income? Indian income. Does he have to pay tax? Does he have to pay tax? Yes. He goes to Dubai, plays cricket there. Where is the income accrued? After he came back to India, he got the check here. The payment is received here. Then effectively it is. So will it be taxable? Supposingly he played in Dubai. So income accrued. And he got paid there itself. So income received. So this income becomes. Will he pay tax? Yes, because he is a resident. Correct? Very good. Next question. Now take any foreign sportsman. Kieran Pollard. Any Mumbai Indians fan out here? I am Mukesh Bhai ka fan. And it is one and the same. This year Mumbai Indians ka performance in the IPL was horrible. You know why? The main player was injured. You don't know that? Main player was injured. Mukesh Bhai was in the hospital. So main player was injured. When the main player is not there, there is no motivation. No? Umpire is like, out do kya, Mukesh Bhai call, but Mukesh Bhai is in the hospital. No, he can't call. No. Huh? A payment nahi hua na. Abhi Mukesh Bhai, if he commits that I will give, don't worry. Then there is no worries. Okay, you come back from the hospital, you settle down, then give. If you are Mukesh Bhai, you will give. But you have not committed only, no. Then how can we take the risk? We can't take it for granted. We can't assume, no, Mukesh Bhai will give only, no, something. He is Mukesh Bhai after all. He is Guju also, no. Once he is not promised, he may not give anything. So we can't take that risk also. So in effect, Mumbai ka performance was very bad. But one of the reasons was the maximum expectations people had from Kieran Pollard. His show this year was a really flop show. But then you have to give it to him. No, matlab you know the number of tournaments and the number of matches he has single-handedly won for the team. If he is standing, that means nothing is going to happen. You are going to win only income. One of the best international T20 player ever. That's Kieran Pollard for you. अब भाड़ में गया his talent. Forget the talent and talk about tax. Supposingly he comes to India only for 40 days during the year. Tell me his residential status. No, once it is 40, it is non-resident. He is not a citizen of India. तुम बोलेगा सर वो 15 लाख पागल, वो citizen of India नहीं. Correct or no? So non-resident. He played the matches in India and he left. And then when he was in West Indies, he got paid there. Means he is non-resident. Payment also received there. Will he pay tax? Yes. Q. Because it is Indian income. Why? Because it accrued in India. आप chronology समझो. Played in India. Therefore accrued in India. Therefore Indian income. Therefore taxable. To hell with your residential status. समझा? Supposingly one of the IPLs took place in Dubai. It did. Recent तो ठीक है. Way back in 2020. Way back कैसा हुआ? Way back in 2000, I think 9 or 14, one of them. Election year जब लोकसभा elections था. 2009 का they took to South Africa because that was also an election year. The security April के month में ही लोकसभा का elections take place. तो security reasons 2009 they went to South Africa and 2014 I think they went to Dubai. So Kieron Pollard played in Dubai. Then he came to India. Next time he got paid for his Dubai ka tournament. Then he went to his country, West Indies. He is a non-resident for tax purposes. You know what? All this discussion we don't have to do for resident. किधर earn किया, किधर नहीं earn किया. Once you are a resident, then we don't have to do any discussion. You have to pay tax. मतलब we are having discussion only for non-resident. Kieron Pollard is a non-resident. Will he pay tax on this income? दुबई में खेला है. Money received in India. Understand the chronology. Money received in India. Therefore, it is Indian income. Therefore, it is taxable for everyone. And of course, we are interested in non-resident. I'll not say you are wrong. We are interested in non-resident because for resident, I'll speak one line, see if you agree. For resident, we are not interested in whether it is Indian income or foreign income. Correct? In effect, if you have...
If the tournament was in Dubai and was paid in Dubai, so will not be paid tax because the boat was here.
Very good question. Let's understand the chronology. Either you are resident or it is Indian income. One of the two has to take place for taking tax from you. Otherwise, there cannot be tax. Is he a resident? नहीं कभी ऐसा हो गया कि he ends up spending money 2 days in the country. So then he will become a resident. But practically speaking, non-resident. Now non-resident हो गया तो only way to tax a non-resident in India has to be that it will be Indian income. And for Indian income, 2 conditions. Accrued in India, received in India. And you fulfill any one of them or both of them. Any one fulfill kiya to it will become. But in this case it is none of them. That means it is foreign income. Foreign income of a non-resident, not taxable in India. And your logic was कि sir, but BCCI is the payer, so tax should come, no? अच्छा, ठीक है. Reliance Industries Limited has a foreign branch office. There will be foreign का local employees over there. कोई Indian citizen नहीं, local employees. अरे, you have to give jobs to local people. You are living in Maharashtra, no? You know the rules here. आपल्या तरुणांना नोकरी दिली पाहिजे. रेलवे का रिक्रूटमेंट हैड टेकन प्लेस. ममता बनर्जी हैड अनाउंस के महाराष्ट्र में रेलवे का नौकरी इज एम्प्टी, मतलब रेलवे में जॉब्स है. शी वॉज द रेलवे मिनिस्टर एट दैट टाइम. शी सेड दैट एनीवन कैन अप्लाई. पीपल फ्रॉम उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार हैड कम. मार मार के भगाया था उनको. पहिला हक मराठी माणसाचा. करेक्ट है. तो रिलायंस ने ब्रांच ऑफिस ओपन किया. एंड इट विल हैव टू रिक्रूट द लोकल एम्प्लॉयज. वर्ल्ड वाइड ये फॉलो होता है. फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस हैज टू बी गिवन टू द लोकल यूथ. द वेरी फैक्ट दैट द गवर्नमेंट इज अलाउइंग यू टू गो देयर इज बिकॉज इट विल कंट्रीब्यूट टू एम्प्लॉयमेंट. एंड अगर एम्प्लॉयज भी बाहर से लेके आओगे, देन यू आर नॉट कंट्रीब्यूटिंग एनीथिंग ओवर हियर. एवरीवेयर पीपल फॉलो. ओनली इन महाराष्ट्र दे हैव अ प्रॉब्लम टू फॉलो. फर्स्ट राइट हैज टू बी गिवन टू द लोकल्स आउट हियर. Why should a Paraprantiya get preference? I also agree with that, but I don't believe कि उसके ने मारो. See, democracy. We have the right to our opinion. But to come back to your question, if the local youth is employed, वो full year बाहर रहता है because it is working in the local branch office there. So is the receiver of salary a non-resident? Full year outside, and 15 lakh ka criteria can't apply because that is only for citizens.
Yes.
So non-resident. Is he working over there in the foreign branch office of Reliance?
Yes.
So income accrued where?
Foreign.
Foreign. Payment also over there. So receipt where? Foreign. Indian income or foreign income? That means assessee is non-resident. Income is
Foreign.
It won't be taxable. Now, do you want to say that make it taxable because Reliance is paying?
No.
No. Who is the payer? That is irrelevant. Who is the payer? That is irrelevant. There are some exceptions. I will do that. Just in an exception, I will tell you. If salary is paid by government, it will always be treated as Indian income. We have बोलेगा sir, government employees तो इधर ही तो 12 o'clock they go to office, 4 o'clock they come back. Can there be government employees sent for work outside India? I am asking you.
Yes.
Where India has embassy in all the countries. You say Indian embassy in Singapore, Indian embassy in New Zealand, Indian embassy in anywhere, Australia, Indian embassy in UK. The head of that embassy is called the Indian ambassador of Singapore, the Indian ambassador of New Zealand. बराबर है? He is on government employment there. You know who is the current external affairs minister in our country? Some are like, sir, we are tired with our internal affairs. Why are we interested in external? S. Jaishankar. You know what was his background before he entered the ministry? He was Indian ambassador in multiple countries. He had passed an exam called Indian Foreign Service. जो IAS का exam होता है ना, UPSC, in that only IAS, IPS, IRS, IFS. He passed. He is an IFS officer. And now he is on government employment. Matlab he was, now he is minister. He was. So that salary was being paid by government. Bhale you are working outside. Bhale you are getting paid outside. But because payer was government, there is a rule that it will be. I have to come to that now. That's my next step only. There is a rule that this will be compulsorily treated as Indian income. But only if payer is government, not if payer is BCCI or Reliance. We are interested in receiver ka residential status. This is income tax act. If A is paying salary to P, या मैं ऐसा करता हूं, B is paying P, क्योंकि आपका BCCI और पोलार्ड है ना, B is paying anything to P. This is income tax act. तो इनकम किसका है? We are interested in his residential status, his Indian income के foreign income. Whoever is paying, that is irrelevant, except those exceptions which I am going to come to. Government salary is one example. Exceptions को छोड़ दो, and this is not there in the exceptions. You have understood the logic here? Very good. So coming back to the point, income earning is a process of two steps. First you work, we call it income accruing. Then you get paid, we call it income received. And an income will become Indian income when which of the activities has taken place in India? Any one has taken place in India, then the income will be treated as Indian income and taxable for everyone, but we are interested only in non-resident. Because resident has to anyways pay tax on global income. Whether it was becoming Indian income or no, we are not interested in that. In one line can I conclude? Any income received in India or accrued, received or accrued, it will be taxable in India. When I started the chapter, we started discussing like this. India ka aadmi earning in India taxable, foreign ka aadmi earning in foreign not taxable. Then I asked you like this, foreigner coming in India and earning, Indian going outside, and then I told you that foreigner and non-foreigner don't talk like that, talk like resident and non-resident. So we moved from casual language to legal language. Correct? And now, earned here or earned there, Indian income or foreign income. It can be received or accrued. It will become Indian income. Resident has to pay tax on everything, non-resident will pay tax on Indian income. Correct? Now comes a list where incomes which are deemed to be Indian incomes. income which is deemed to be Indian income. Once an income becomes Indian income, tax effect क्या है? What is the tax effect? Who pays tax? Everyone. Normal rule के हिसाब से when does income become Indian income? Received or accrued, any one of them. ये वाली incomes में it is possible that accrued also outside, maybe received also outside, but we will treat them as Indian incomes. The word deem, have you ever come across this word normally in your day-to-day life? Not legal language के अंदर, not when you were studying law for foundation या law in intermediate. In your day-to-day life, have you ever come across the word deemed? Where? Deemed university. चलिए, very good. So can you tell me what does the word deem mean? This is not tax, this is a word in English and I want to know the meaning. चलो बोलो, पोदार वालों, मैरिज वालों. हाँ. So what is your word? You are giving an example. Assumed. Any other word? Considered. हाँ. Proven. Anything else? By default. कौन बोलो? आप बोलो. हाँ. Anything else? Assumed, presumed word if you use, you are right. But the most appropriate word is the word considered. सबसे appropriate word, सबसे closest word. Google किया ना? The closest. Sorry. And thank you. Thank you so much. बोला सर इज सो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, गुस्से में चीजें फेंक रहा है. सी आई एम मैरिड फॉर 8 years नाउ. आई एम बियॉन्ड ऑल दैट फ्रस्ट्रेशन. ओके, नाउ आई हैव एक्सेप्टेड कि नाउ दिस इज माय लाइफ, आई हैव टू वर्क एंड आई हैव टू लिव लाइक दिस. सो आई विल नॉट बी थ्रोइंग थिंग्स इन फ्रस्ट्रेशन एवर. ओके, वो छूट गया हाथ से. द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड, गूगल ने किया ना, द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड इज द वर्ड कंसिडर. इस पे एक मीम है, तू है, तेरे को पता नहीं है पर तू है, तू है. यू सीन दैट मीम? ये वही है. दिस इज प्रिसाइसली दैट. वॉट एवर इज गिवन ईयर 1 2 3 4, तू इंडियन इनकम है. यू डोंट नो बट यू आर इंडियन इनकम. यू आर कंसिडर्ड, ट्रीटेड. इंग्लिश में यू कैन यूज दीज वर्ड्स लाइक कंसिडर्ड. अज्यूम प्रिज्यूम भी रॉन्ग नहीं है. Assumed to be Indian incomes, treated as Indian incomes. Deemed university का मतलब वही, considered as university, treated as Indian. हिंदी में जबरदस्ती, ये इनकम इंडियन इनकम, इन हिंदी जबरदस्ती, forcefully. Have you understood that? Do one thing. Don't cancel. You don't cancel in your book because supposingly I cancel like this. I have magic. If you do like this, what will you do? White means thoda. In your mind, cancel this word and write the word considered, or assumed, or presumed, treated. So what do you understand about the list that we are going to start? So finally, for tax purposes, we will call them Indian incomes. I'll not say these are not Indian incomes. These may not be Indian incomes. But for the purpose of taxation, we will consider them as Indian incomes. बहुत ठंडी लग रहा है. I told him to start one, he started both. एकदम full flow में. कोई एक बंद कर दो, whichever you want. सर पे ही चाहिए. हाँ, I don't mind one, but I can, like make out. शांति? अभी भी नहीं, अभी नाउ डोंट से के ये भी बंद करो. ओके, इनकम्स deemed to be Indian incomes, मतलब these may or may not be Indian incomes, but for the purpose of Indian taxation laws we will treat them as. Once we treat them as Indian income, तो फिर tax effect क्या हो जाएगा? Therefore they will be taxable. For whom? For everyone.
Yes.
Though our target is RNOR or NR. ROR is not our target. Had the assessee been Virat Kohli, he has to pay tax whether accrued in Dubai or in India. Target कौन है? RNOR. Target is NR. We are interested in the definition of Indian income only for them. Because assessee being ROR has to pay tax on everything. So what are, ladies and gentlemen, what are the incomes which are going to be treated as, assumed as, presumed as, या most appropriate, considered as Indian income? एक एक करके. First, any income in the form of capital gain. Legal name, technical name, capital gain. You can't look at me with blank faces because it is not the first time that I am writing this name in front of you. The 5 categories of income which you could have called them categories before you started with me, today and for the rest of your life, you will call them the 5 heads of income, in which the 4th head is capital gain. And if you still are not comfortable, Pura sir, you just made us write the name, you have not done anything in the chapter, so no problem. Profit on sale of asset, are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
This you are comfortable? Whenever selling price exceeds the WDV? Every time there is sale of an asset, how many entries you pass? First entry for?
Selling price is exactly for everything. What is the profit or loss?
और वो क्या था? वो 16 years हो गया. वो क्या था? Total depreciation from this account to that account. कभी कभी 4 entries होता है. Are we maintaining separate provision for depreciation? ऐसा ही कुछ था ना? Then transfer total depreciation from the provision. वो भी एक entry. I still remember things. ठीक है. तो profit on sale of asset. Difference between the selling price and WDV. That's your gain. If the asset is located in India, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, asset can be anything. Asset can be any asset. It can be immovable property. It has to be located at one place. Immovable property can't be shifted from one place to the other. Immovable is called immovable because of that. Correct or no? The building in which we are having our lectures, is this movable property or immovable property? Because we can't move it. Wrong answer. I can move this building. You want to see how? Arey, bring that JCB re, bulldozer. JCB, bulldozer. I can move this building. But in order to move the asset, I will have to destroy the asset. So it is, what is immovable? An asset which has to be destroyed to move it. That is why it is immovable. Laptop and desktop are 2 types of computers. The laptops are movable property. Desktop is fixed at one place. So it is movable or immovable? Huh? Desktop computers are movable or immovable? सोच के बोलो. Can I remove it from one place and install it in another place? Do I have to destroy? तो वो movable है. हाँ वैसे ही that way only anything that can be moved without destroying is movable. The AC is fixed at one place. Some are like के कांच नहीं होता. It is movable or immovable. मित्रों मरीन लाइंस की क्लास में था, वहां से आया इधर. By any chance went to marine lines class ever? क्यों? कोई बोलता गया, कोई बोलता नहीं गया. जो भी है आया कहीं ना कहीं से. It is movable or immovable? Some are like sir पंखा गोल गोल घूमता है तो movable. AC गोल गोल फ्लैप है ना. No, we can remove from one place, install at another place. So movable without destroy. समझा? This capital asset can be anything. It can be movable property like sheds, securities, furniture, fixture. It can be immovable property like land and building. If the asset is located in India, then ladies and gentlemen, this income is going to be treated as Indian income. Sir, आप सोचेगा कि sir asset in India तो ये तो Indian income. What is the need to tell you? There is a need to tell you. There is a need to tell you. Okay. Supposingly, example, सुंदर नहीं, वो दयाबेन का भाई नहीं, सुंदर पिच, that सुंदर, okay, has some house. By the way, which city of India he was before he moved? Brain drain. नहीं, सुंदर पीछे गुजराती है. वो जेठालाल का साला सुंदर नहीं. He is from Ahmedabad Port. Sundar Pichai was from which? He is a South Indian. It can't be Ahmedabad or Baroda. मैं तो ऐसे ही पूछा thinking that you guys must be knowing. भाड़ में गया. He has a house in Kochi. नहीं तो if I say that he was from Chennai, then people will say no sir, he is a Malayali. भाड़ में गया. He has a house in. He can have a house anywhere. He is the CEO of Google after all. He owns a house in Kochi. ठीक है. अब he generally does not come to India except if it is Mukesh bhai ka son ka wedding, then everyone has to go. Everyone, you are not, don't be surprised if Prime Minister is serving tea to people over there. Anyways, he makes very good tea, people say so. So he came to India. Otherwise, generally he does not come. He has a house in Kochi. And because he does not come to India ever, he wants to sell this house. But he does not have time or a time. So he met Apple का CEO. ये तो Google का CEO है ना. He met Apple का CEO. Cook. ये टीम कुक का एलिस्टर कुक से कोई रिलेशन तो नहीं है. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग. नो रिलेशन. एप्पल का सीईओ. ओके. बोथ ऑफ देम एक्चुअली नो वेर एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम स्कूल फ्रेंड्स या हाई स्कूल फ्रेंड्स या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन का फिर बचपन से दे यूज्ड टू नो ईच अदर. अज्यूम. डोंट से नहीं सर सुंदर इज 40 years old, he is 60 years. नहीं, अज्यूम. मे बी दे नो ईच अदर सिंस टाइम बिकॉज बोथ ऑफ देम आर हेडिंग सच बिग companies. तो possible है कि during their education times they were knowing each other. They met each other in some global business conference in London. When they met each other, so Tim Cook was like, "Hi bro, Sundar, how are you?" Sundar is like, not good yaar. Well, what happened? Yaar, I have a house in Kochi which I want to sell. But I don't have time to go to Kerala, back home. I just want to sell it here, but I don't want to go back. So I don't want to hold it anymore. So Tim Cook is like, you have a house in Kochi? We are looking for a property there. Because we plan to expand Apple ka business there. It is likely that we will have to send some of our staff out there. We are actually looking for a house for our employees. शो मी द लोकेशन. फाइट हो गया थोड़ा. सुंदर वॉज लाइक आई विल शो यू ऑन गूगल मैप्स एंड एप्पल ही इज लाइक नो शो मी ऑन एप्पल मैप्स. थोड़ा तो 5 मिनट का झगड़ा हुआ, बट देन फाइनली ही शोड द लोकेशन ऑन मैप्स. बोला दिस इज द लोकेशन. देन ही शोड अ वीडियो ऑफ द इंटीरियर्स, पूरा एनिमेशन के साथ में एग्जैक्ट वीडियो ऑफ द हाउस, लोकेशन वीडियो. टीम कुक वाज लाइक सुपर्ब हाउस, एकदम सी फेसिंग. देयर इज वन मरीन ड्राइव इन कोची ऑल्सो. सी फेसिंग जो एरिया है दैट इज कॉल्ड मरीन ड्राइव, कोची मरीन ड्राइव. सुपर्ब, वी वांट दिस ओनली. प्राइस बोला इन INR 2 करोड़ रुपीस. अभी वो एप्पल वाला है, बार्गेन तो करेगा. बोला नहीं 150. फाइनली दे डिसाइड एट 1.8 CR. मुंबई में ना इस प्राइस में इफ यू बाय अ हाउस तो टॉयलेट इज आउटसाइड द हाउस. बट आई टुक एग्जांपल ऑफ कोची. 1.8 करोड़. 1.8 करोड़ में इनफैक्ट in India, any city other than Mumbai, no, you can get a bungalow, you can get a very very good respectable bada huge size ka house. In Mumbai you may possibly not get an extra bedroom also in this price. After all, they decided to execute the sale transaction. They made an agreement as well as payment there itself. They are very fast, no, they are ultimately heads of the world's biggest companies. उधर ही कर दिया लंदन के अंदर, and they execute this transaction. They finish it. Now answer the following questions. One non-resident is making payment to another non-resident. Agreement outside India. Payment outside India. So apparently it is foreign income, but then, ladies and gentlemen, the gain on sale of this house will be treated as Indian income. Any capital gain on an asset which is located in India will be treated as Indian income. Even if the agreement is outside India, even if the payment is outside India, agreement will result in accrual of income. देखो, an income like salary you have to work to earn. An income like professional fees you have to work to earn. But an income like sale of property you don't have to work. You do agreement. That means the income has arisen. Where has the income arisen? Outside India. Where was the payment done? Outside India. बराबर है, but it will be treated as. If there is sale of any asset located in India, it will be treated as Indian income. Irrespective of payer pay, irrespective of place of agreement, place of payment. This also means when I write any, मतलब whenever any person sells shares of any Indian company, possible है sale of shares of Indian company. Can the seller be non-resident? Can the buyer be non-resident? Can they do agreement outside India? Payment outside India? It will still be treated as. क्योंकि any बोला ना, I didn't say खाली rental, खाली house property. I said capital gain on sale of any asset. Any asset. Any asset can be property, shares, debentures, anything. बोलो. First income which is treated as Indian income. ऐसा पूरा list complete होगा ना, then we will get done with meaning of Indian income. Anything which is not in India. Achha, by the way, when the payment was in India or the accrual was in India, so we don't have to come to that deeming list. It is Indian income. When payment and accrual both have not happened in India, but you fall in this case, then it will be again Indian income. And anything that does not fall anywhere here will become foreign income. And by now we have understood which will be taxable for whom. Correct? Hai? Before I go to the second income, please. In any case, who will bear the tax? Now tell me one thing. There is one person who is selling a house and there is one person who is. Who earns income, seller or buyer? Seller. So what is the question? In whose name is the property? Your confusion is Google will pay or Sundar will pay. अच्छा वो कन. I thought you were asking me, sir.
Google is not Apple.
So that's a stupid question. If your confusion was कि sir Google or Sundar who will pay tax, that's an acceptable question. क्योंकि Google and Sundar are two associates, no? Correct? Apple is the buyer. I still ask you that same question. When does income arise? When you sell or when you purchase? 100% sure. What is Apple doing? Buying. Expense है कि income है? Purchase is expense or income? Expense. So who sells? Between Google and Sundar still there can be confusion. I will sort that also. But between Google and Apple there can never be confusion. Between Google and Apple, who sells? मतलब Google. And whose purchase? This is Income Tax Act or Expense Tax Act. Income किसका है? तो who will pay tax? Google. अब actually I would have been happy अगर you would have asked, sir, Google will pay or Sundar will pay. सुनो, whose property this is? I just introduced him as Google CEO to you. Ultimately, owner of property was Sundar. So he is going to sell the property in his personal capacity. He can't sell Google का assets खुद के मर्जी से, despite the fact that he is ultimately he is a CEO, no, not a prime minister that he can keep on selling things to people. Come on, BSNL, MTNL, LIC. He can't just keep on selling, no. नहीं समझा? You are Ahmedabadi में भी offended, no, when I say things like this. नहीं, she's like भाड़ में जा, हमको क्या? कोई किसी को बेच दे, हमको क्या? हमको हमारे सीए करने से हम सीए बनेगा, हम भी असिस्ट करेगा in selling everything. So income arises at the time of selling. तो Google or Sundar, whose property it was? Sundar sold in personal capacity. In case my example was Sundar telling Tim that there is a house in Kochi owned by Google and we want to sell it from the company and Apple is buying as a buyer, Apple or Tim Cook, doesn't matter. But Sundar is selling the property from the name of the company on behalf of the company. Company has given him the right being the CEO. Then whose property is getting sold? Google. Then capital gain Google का होगा. But in our example, Sundar was the owner and introduced to you as Google का CEO. Correct है? That means seller का income होता है. So who will pay tax? Seller, which can be Google or Sundar based on whichever situation you take. Second income. All throughout, in your mind, you need to be clear about when I am writing point number 2, this is point number 2 in which list? Matlab, we will not check anything, make it Indian income. Correct? Rent from a property in India. Or should I say property located in India. If you have understood the first case, then you have understood the second case. If here in this agreement, Sundar says, Kenai, I don't want to sell, and Tim says, I don't want to buy. Sundar gives it on rent to Tim. Everything else is done outside. The agreement outside, payment outside, everything outside. Where is the property located? That means it will be treated as Indian income. You can take the same example. Instead of sale, instead of the selling price, you can make it 18 lakh rental value. That's it. Very easy to understand. Mitra, if the property is located in India, the rent will always be treated as Indian income. No problem. Next. Dividend from an Indian company. You know what? We are not interested in if the shareholder is a resident. You understand what I said? Why we are not interested? Whichever company gives you dividend, Indian or foreign, you have to pay tax. You are a resident. We are interested only if the shareholder is non-resident, invests in an Indian company, earns a dividend from Indian company, taxable. क्योंकि it will be treated as Indian income. And Indian income मतलब everyone has to get. some years ago, I know that you don't know this, but I am telling you, India mein there was a culture, a system that dividend income will be taxed in the hands of the company. मतलब क्या sir? क्या in the hands? क्या बोल? There is a company which is paying dividend. किसको? Who is receiving this income? The shareholders can be number wise, thousands, lakhs, crores. Sometimes बड़ा company में. It will be difficult for the government to go and search for individual shareholder. बोले you got 100 rupees pay tax, you 500, 1 lakh, ऐसा करके individual dividend. So idea. When this dividend is leaving the company, on that day itself, we will tell company, you pay tax. That means company has its own income. On that income, company has paid income tax already. Now from that, the company is distributing dividend to the shareholder. On that is income of the shareholder. But dividend ke upar also you pay tax. We used to call it dividend distribution tax on companies. Because we don't want to run behind individual shareholders. And a beautifully logically decided rate of DDT. If shareholders will pay tax, lowest will be 0% and highest will be 30%. What is किया कभी life में simple average A plus B upon 2? DDT का rate 15%. The average rate of tax that will apply if the dividend is taxed for shareholders. That means dividend from Indian companies was not taxable for anyone. And why was it not taxable for anyone? Because the company was already being made to pay tax. It was a specific provision in income tax. Shareholders will not pay tax on dividend, exempt income ka chapter. Because the company has already paid tax. But this DDT was abolished just 2 years ago. Auntie said, ultimately, who is the real receiver of income? Then logically enough, shareholder only should pay tax. Why should this assessee bear tax of this assessee? Earlier rule was justified. ये बोल के ultimately if company is paying, तो indirect burden will come on shareholder. Future के date में उतना funds of the company will be less. तो in their proportion they will get that much less only. No? With that logic, government made its own work convenient. That we don't have to run behind every individual. So now, auntie said no. The real earner of the income should pay tax. That means DDT got abolished. Dividend became taxable. Till dividend was exempt, no. We never wrote this point. Because even if you treat it as Indian income, it has been expressly and specifically declared as exempt income. Zarurat nahi tha. But now is the dividend income taxable income or exempt income? Come on. Now. Taxable. And if now it is taxable, so we have to mention. Indian company paying, then it will be treated as Indian income. Irrespective of who the investor is, where the investor is from. Is that understood? So dividend from Indian company will be deemed to accrue in India. That is deemed to be what? Indian income, and therefore it will be taxable for everyone. Is that clear? Very good. Next, any gift received from a non-resident. Any, क्या बोला? Gift received from a non-resident. Sorry. From nahi. By a non-resident. My bad. Any gift received by a non-resident. From a non-resident बोलूंगा तो receiver will become resident. So anyways it has to be taxed, no? Any gift received by a non-resident from a resident. First of all, if you receive gift, it is going to be taxable under your last head of income from other sources. Well, once upon a time in India, there was a law called gift tax. Gift will be taxable. But it was merged into income tax many years ago, where if you receive gift, it will be treated as taxable income under income tax. Under which head of income? Income from other sources, the last part. 5 heads no, उसमें जो last है ना, that is called income from other sources. If you receive gift, you have to pay tax under income from other sources. One resident giving gift to resident to resident. Stupid question. Receiver is resident, we are not interested. Non-resident to resident. Again, stupid question. Till the time receiver of gift is a resident, there is no discussion about Indian or foreign income. If the receiver of gift is NR to NR, still we can say that we will not levy tax in India. Because is it possible that Barack Obama has given a gift to Hillary Clinton because she fought elections against Trump? So will we start taxing Clinton in India? Clinton might pay, Trump to bomb phod ke jayega. So not taxable. But now we are talking about a case where gift is given by a resident to a non-resident. Gift given by a to a receiver कौन है? Non-resident. But payer is, so we will assume that it is Indian income. Of course, in the chapter of IFOS, when we learn the concept of gift, there are some rules given. If it's gift in money, the money amount has to be more than 50,000. So gift up to 50,000 will not be taxable. I am not teaching you, I am telling you. Other than money, can there be non-monetary gifts also? You can gift someone shares, securities, gold, sculpture, artwork, money, bullion, anything. You can gift someone immovable property. If the value of the asset is more than 50,000, then only it will be taxable. Subject to the conditions given out there, if gift has become taxable because it has exceeded 50,000 rupees, there are some more exceptions given. If we are getting into it, then hear me out orally. Any gift received from relative is not taxable. So for that we have to learn the definition of relative. Who is relative? The most obvious, first, spouse. पाऊस नाही हा दादा, घरी गेल्यावर लगेच चालू होते म्हणून काय पाऊस नाही. नॉट पाऊस, स्पाउस. ब्रदर सिस्टर ऑफ स्पाउस, ब्रदर सिस्टर ऑफ पेरेंट्स, लिस्ट दिया. एनी गिफ्ट रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम रिलेटिव विल बी एक्सेप्टेड. सो यू वोंट चेक 50,000. Any gift received on the occasion of, that one occasion in life where even income tax sympathizes with you. Gift on the occasion of marriage is not taxable. If you have received gift from a charitable trust, an educational institution, medical institution, actually it is not gift, it is help, like a scholarship, like medical health care के लिए monetary help, so that if a poor patient does not have money, not taxable. And when you don't fall in any of these cases and the value of the gift is exceeding 50,000 rupees, it will become taxable. But sir, I am non-resident. People were escaping. If the giver of gift is a resident, then gift will be taxable for non-resident also. If the giver of gift is, क्या बोला मित्रों? That means in effect, can I say gift received by a non-resident from a resident is going to be taxable. Is that clear? Very good. Next, point number 5 in the list of incomes which are deemed to be Indian income. If we talk about the income called salary, do you understand? Salary normally accrues at place of work. What do you mean by accrual of any income? You work for it. If you observe the previous few incomes, capital gain, you don't work for it. You just agree, do an agreement and sell your asset. Rent, you don't work for it. It is an investment that you have made in India. If the investment is in India, so the rent will be treated as Indian income. The incomes done above were investment related incomes, not effort related income. But salary is such an income which requires you to put some effort to earn it. Yes or no? Yes. Where does it accrue? So if you work in India, salary is accruing in India. If you work outside India, salary is accruing outside India. Wherever you work, your salary accrues. Yes or no? But if the salary is paid by government, this is what we discussed orally sometime back. If the payer is, so it will always be deemed as accruing in India. That means it will always be treated as Indian income. Salary paid by government will always be treated as Indian income. Anybody out here who has government employee in their family? Which department? Railways. Where exactly? मतलब what post in railways? Where? Main Ratnagiri station. Khed mein. Who? My grandfather was also station master in Rajasthan, in a small village. Then my father shifted to Mumbai to study for CA. He didn't become CA. My grandfather was very upset. I said, हम करते हैं प्रबंध, आप चिंता मत कीजिए. By the time I did प्रबंध, he was not there. But क्या कर सकते हैं? My father wanted me to become IAS officer, but I was like, कि मैं तो इसमें ही निकल गया अभी. Let's see, okay? तो government employees working in India, you will be. अब आप बोलेगा तो क्या पागल जैसा बात कर रहा है? Obviously, the income will be Indian income. No, if he is working as a station master in any of the railway stations, obviously it is Indian income. But आप फिर समझे नहीं हो what this point is. Can government employees be sent to work outside India? Ambassador का example I gave you, no? That will also be treated as Indian income. पहले एक बात बताओ, where is he working? Government employee जो embassy में काम कर रहा है, where is he working? Outside India. And by the way, full year he stays there, so he is non-resident. If he was resident, तो इतना मगर resident we don't do all this, हाँ? ये पूरा list that we are doing, this is our target. Government employee who is working outside India is a non-resident. His income apparently, you know the meaning of the word apparent? Visibly, appearing to be outside India, but we will treat it as Indian income. We will treat it as Indian income because the payer is, whenever the payer is government, the income will be treated as Indian income, irrespective of where you are getting paid. Understood? Next. अच्छा, by the way, orally बता रहा हूं because somewhere it will come in some of our chapter. Once government of India is sending you for work purposes outside India, even if you are working outside India, is that income going to be treated as Indian income? And in effect, despite the fact that you are a non-resident, my question in one line is this: is a foreign salary paid by government of India taxable in India? Because it is paid by government, it will be treated as, because it is Indian income, it will be taxable for everyone. Okay. But over and above salary, every employee, not just government, salary is one thing. Over and above salary, every employee gets some extra malai and makhan. Illegally under the table ka I am not talking about. Legally, salary ke upar means over and above salary, you are giving something called allowances, and you are also given something called perquisites, or popularly also known as the perks of being in this job. So what is one thing common between them? Both of them are extra. You get one salary, whatever be your salary, this is extra. What is difference? Allowances are given in money. They are monetary. So take salary, take money to pay rent of your house. We call it house rent allowance. Take money, travel by car, we call it car allowance. Take money, buy tiffin, we call it tiffin allowance. If money is paid, we call it allowance. And perquisite means non-monetary. So this time, your boss is not giving you take money, pay rent. He is giving you take this key, go and sleep. House facility. Take this car. Take this food. So non-monetary is called perquisite. Both of them are over and above salary. Both of them are taxable also. When we learn income from salary, no? First head of income, we have to learn about allowances. We have to learn about perquisites. बराबर है? But these people who are Indian government employees working outside India, is that salary Indian income? Yes. So is there allowance and perquisite, but there is a section in income tax 10(7) which says in one line, allowance and perquisites paid to government employees outside India is exempt. Allowance and perquisites paid to government employees outside India is exempt. So what do they have to pay tax on? Only on their normal salary. They don't have to pay tax on allowances and perquisites. Allowances and perquisites paid to government employees outside India will be. Find out a tax planning idea here. If you are a government employee being sent on foreign work, come on, idea. See, 15 lakh doesn't matter here because once it is Indian income, your residential status is irrelevant. You understood? Resident we make you because of 15 lakh, then we tax you on your world income. But here, once it is Indian income, we have to make you pay tax, even if you become a non-resident. ज्यादा प्लानिंग हो गया. Take less salary, more allowances. इतना ही you had to say. Take less salary, more allowances, because salary paid to government employees outside India will be. But allowances and perquisites are not taxable, and because of that, generally it is seen that they take more in the nature of allowances and perquisite, less in the nature of salary. Any salary paid by government to its employees outside India will be deemed to be Indian income. Government is at 3 levels. Income tax is taken by which government? You are not there in the first lecture, but still I am asking you because you said that मैंने देखा YouTube पे video. तो introduction में ही I had told this. Income tax is paid to which government? And employees can be any. Understood? Okay. And plus, when you, if this is your question, जब we will do salary का chapter no, उस chapter में again and again I will ask you, government employees पैदा क्यों होते हैं? Why do they take birth? Answer is मजा मारने. Don't be offended हाँ उस टाइम पे. हाँ बुरा मत मानना. ओके मेरे घर में भी बहुत है. ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स की जनरेशन में, पेरेंट्स का जनरेशन ऑल बिजनेसमैन. ओके एंड माई जनरेशन ऑल इनटू प्रोफेशन, सब जॉब एंड वो सब एजुकेशन प्रोफेशन, बस पढ़ाई करके जॉब. क्रोनोलॉजी है. इनकम टैक्स गोज टू सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय कोई भी हो सकता है, पहली बात. एंड व्हेन वी डू सैलरी का चैप्टर, जगह जगह पे ऐसा बोला है गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज के लिए दिस इज एग्जेम्प्ट, बट प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए इट इज टैक्सेबल. गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय के लिए इट इज एग्जेम्प्ट, प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए इट इज टैक्सेबल. व्हेन यू प्रोवाइड यू सच टैक्स बेनिफिट्स, तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स बिकम ल्यूक्रेटिव एंड पीपल वांट टू डू दैट. अदरवाइज पीपल विल मूव टू द प्राइवेट सेक्टर एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो वांट्स मैन पावर. नो, तो जानबूझ के दे प्रमोट बाय गिविंग दीज इंसेंटिव्स. इफ यू वांटेड टू नो द लॉजिक, प्रोविजन क्या है? सैलरी विल बी टैक्सेबल, अलाउंस एंड परक्विजिट्स विल बी exempt. That's a way to attract. नहीं तो आपको बोलेगा फैमिली को छोड़ के 4 years you will have to stay outside. At one go you may not agree, but on the other hand we'll say that we'll give you bangla, we'll give you everything, khana pina, everything free, your children ka school ka everything free, plus all these are over and above salary. Huh? Bangla, khana pina, all that will be exempt. Only the salary that we pay you will be taxable. Then you might take up that offer. Understood? Logic. Okay.
So all allowances and
perquisites.
Perquisites, they are taxable if they are paid in
government employees का you are talking about government employees or
government pays its employees in taxes allowances and perquisites in India. Is that amount taxable?
Yes, because this was only for government employees outside India. Because despite earning outside India, we are taxing them on their salary. So we are granting exemption on allowances and perquisites. In India, so everything is going to be taxable. Today, in India, if you have a government employee, salary, bonus, dearness allowance, any of the components of salary, any allowance, any perquisite, everything is going to be taxable. Correct? Hai? Chaliye. If you are doing business and the business is set up in India, so your income will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Matlab, your business is set up in India. Okay? Orders are coming worldwide. Sometimes what happens, you are on a foreign tour. Foreign tour pe you go. So saath mein you have taken your goods. You show it to some people out there. You execute the sale out there. You did your agreement there. You received your payment there. But where is your business setup? It will be deemed to accrue or arise. अब आप बोलेगा सर business is set up in India मतलब assessee is resident. तब तो this discussion only is not applicable. But is it possible that non-resident has set up some business in India? Yes, your residential status is non-resident, but you have set up some business in India. Yes, if the business is set up in India, then the income will be deemed to accrue or arise in India, excluding one, if it is only for purchases. Means a foreign entity has opened an office in India only for placing orders, only for purchases. When does income arise? Both. Purchase pe ke sale pe? Sale pe. Supposingly we have opened an office in Mumbai. We are a foreign company. Agar hum resident hai, I am not discussing it with you. We are a foreign company. We open a office in Mumbai, India, wherever. And only purchase raw materials and send it to our factory. Other than purchase of materials or purchase of goods, it can be raw material, it can be a trader purchasing goods and sending. The sale activity is done outside India. So you can't say that the business is set up. Business is set up for selling, not for buying. So if the activity is limited to purchases, then we will not call it business setup. Is that understood? So that won't be Indian income. Matlab, you purchase in India, sell outside, then it's foreign income. India mein you are confined to, your activity is restricted to purchase activity, or if your activity is confined to collecting of information. Sir, ye kya hota? No. You are not exporting. You have come here to buy and you are going. Export means I am sitting here and selling from you. You are selling goods to some outsider. That means you are an exporter. Your business is set up here. But the one who has come here to buy from you is only buying and going away. Difference समझे? Your business is set up here, but he has come only for purchasing. So your income is Indian income, but his income is only purchases. There is no Indian income. And same applies for collection of information. This is basically applicable to media. Will we have one office of every foreign media house? New York Times या London Times, BBC. अभी तो I think I am sure you are aware we have BBC Gujarati, BBC Marathi. BBC has opened. Yes, sir. Yes. So they will have offices here. They will collect information here, print there, or show on TV there. Acha, BBC Marathi is located here. Then it becomes resident. But I am talking about the main company BBC. Here what they have done, only collected information. Other than that, they are not doing any income generating activity out here. So that won't be treated as a business setup in India. Because if we treat that as, supposedly New York Times has an office in Mumbai, collects Indian news for printing in New York Times. Right now we are saying it is not Indian income. It is not treated as a business in India. If we treat as a business in India, तो क्या होगा? That means New York Times will have to start paying tax on the news collection. Unnecessary tax burden. They'll be like, we don't want to open any office in Mumbai. We don't want Indian news. But does India want that the world should know Indian news? In our newspapers, in all the papers, do we have one page on international news? Yes. Likewise, international papers have to print Indian news. For that, they have to collect information. Yes. We should allow them without taxing them. It's like collecting of information will not be treated as business. Anyways, you are collecting info, not selling anything or earning income. Income arises only when you sell something. Correct? And thus, these two activities will not be treated as business activity. Is this clear? Alright. With this, we are almost done with the chapter. Hardly 2-3 points baki hai. Chapter will get over. We'll finish the remaining sums which are on scope of total income, where ROR, RNOR and NR ke hisab se we will divide the incomes and then we move further. Agar residential status is done, no mitro, then we just have to learn two things. Calculation of income, calculation of tax. But income calculation is 9 chapters. Okay, so we'll continue. I think tomorrow also we have class. So we continue tomorrow.